Pick says, yo, is this, hello, radio station? Is this where I request the drippy biddle? Why, yes, it is. Yes. You're caller number 9. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate it. Alex, how you doing? Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live. That is Griffin. And yes, I'm wearing a bathrobe because this is our hot tub stream. All right, welcome in, everybody. Appreciate. Oh, you're not on yet. Sorry. Wait, what? Why are you not on? You're not muted. You made me think it was me. You made me think it was me, but it's not me. You're muted. It's not me, man. It's not me. You were talking to me like a minute ago. You got it. Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm DJz. That's Griffin. How you doing, buddy? Oh, no. Oh, no. I sense a rotten potato over there. I sense a rotten potato. All right, listen. Let's just get it going, all right? We'll figure sound doesn't transmit without air, and he is in a space station. So that's fine.
I'm here. What had happened was I hit the wrong mute button in the app instead of on the thing, and now you didn't get to hear all of my whole time funny things that I was doing. That's okay.
No,
Good evening,
we heard none of the hello funny things. Hey, John, how you doing over in YouTube chat? How about a Talking Trek server sound off? You guys go ahead and punch it up in chat. We got Noon Whistle on 29. Thank you. Iron Chef on server 14. Thank you. Tarpy on 30. What's going on? Scaly back from the Outback on 188. Packet on 86. Sea Engineering on 36. What's going on? Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Appreciate you guys all being here. What's going on? Striker on 49. Scott on server 26. Silvertab on 33. Shadow Sheep on 133. Hercules on 134. Enterprise on 30. Major Pothead on 67. Riker's Vengeance on 20. Bender the Robot is here on server 51. Manxman on 24. Plugster on 8-pack 188. Cottontail on 34. Storm on 32. Thank you. Clark on 51. Alex on 181. Yarf on 401. Lost Keymaster on 14. Jimmy says, I'm everywhere. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate that. Jeff on server 91. Max on 138. Jondrel on 32. And the list goes on. There's at least 50 more messages in the Talking Trek server sound off. Thank you. Welcome. Happy Sunday. And more importantly,
Happy Daylight Savings overtime, by the way.
Daylight saving. Okay, first of all, I didn't even realize that had happened today. I'm almost sad about it. Obviously, I got my hour's sleep, all right, because I was asleep before 2 and woke up after 2. So I got my extra sleep. But I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't have a chance to look forward to it. If I'm just being honest with you.
I hate it.
Yeah. Wait, you don't like it?
Too dark, too early. Too dark, too early.
It is dark.
This is my least favorite day of the year. We should be on daylight
but I got
the
extra
entire year.
sleep. That was fantastic. All right. Eshtar says, unshaven and adorned in a Comfort Inn VIP
I'm so
robe.
positive.
Should we be
full
concerned?
of positive energy.
Hey, CDB, thanks for the raid, baby. How are ya? What's up? Jimmy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. No, it is a bathrobe. It is a bathrobe, but it's a Star Trek bathrobe. All right, look at that. It's a Star Trek bathrobe. Mainly because, why, Griffin? I told you why. Why am I wearing a bathrobe in the studio?
Because it's cold out there today. It's cold out there every day.
It is cold in the studio out here. So I've got, for the first time this season, I've got the heat on, and I'm wearing a collared shirt with a bathrobe.
The only thing missing is the almost empty fifth of Jim Beam just off camera.
Yeah, the almost empty or the actual empty and the 3 actual empties. Anyway. So, yeah, this is a Star Trek. I got it for Christmas. My sister got it for me a couple years ago, and I like it. I like it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. Did you guys have a happy Halloween? Happy Halloween, everybody. I know it's like 2 days later, but did you have a nice Halloween? Everybody, Griffin, did you have a nice
best Halloween. We had over 100 pounds of candy in our trailer that we had to haul home. We hit over 1,000 houses from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m.
1,000 houses. Oh, yeah. That is way too much for me. That's a hard pass. No, 1,000 houses? No.
Yeah, and if you stick around for the power hour when people don't want the candy and they say, just take all you want. That happens after 9 o'clock. That's when you really
Holy smokes. Are you serious? Jondrel says not a single soul came to our house. I never get trick-or-treaters at my house. That's fine. But I took Oliver out, and of course you guys know that I couldn't go on Halloween night because it was senior night for Noah's football team. So, and by the
Oh, I
way,
thought you were going to say it was senior night at the IHOP. They introduced the new seniors menu, and you showed up in your bathrobe at 4:30 p.m. Couldn't be bothered to trick or treat.
it was Halloween night, and we had high school football, so we had to do that. So I took Oliver trick-or-treating another night in a different town, but we still didn't go to 1,000 houses. That's insane, bro. We went to like 50 houses. He got like a half a bag, and even he was done. He was like, okay, Dad, I'm ready to go home. I'm like, thank God, let's go. Dad tax, hand it over. All right, let's drive home. Okay, so yeah, Silvertep says, I was disappointed. I only saw one K-pop demon hunter. I was expecting a lot more. Dude, I actually did see several K-pop demon hunters. I saw several of those.
Yeah, a lot of lightning bolts, a lot of long red wigs.
Yeah.
A lot of purple scars. Yeah.
No, you
Easy
know,
to point out.
it was nice. Oliver went dressed up. Okay, this sounds creepy when I say it. I haven't been able to explain this yet to anybody without it sounding weird. Oliver dressed up as his own cat. And when I say that, I mean that he took a picture of his cat, and then his mom sent it to like this costume place, and they actually modeled a costume after his own cat. His name is Velcro, and he's like solid black. And so Oliver has this mask, and even like not like a whole suit, which is easy because it's just a black cat costume. It was very furry. I joked with him all night that it was made out of human hair because it kept shedding. Anyway, but he also had a mask, which he didn't end up wearing. But the mask looks just like his cat. And I was like,
scary.
Dude, that's a little creepy. He was like, it's Halloween, Dad. I'm like, yeah, but you're not dressed up as like something scary. He says, Velcro's a black cat, Dad. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to go with it. All right. So I'm gonna go with that. So that's what he did. And unfortunately, I don't have a picture to share with you right now because it's on my other phone. I left it inside. It's downloading footage from the football game.
I have a picture of my costume if you want to put up my costume.
Yeah,
I was very
what
proud
did you guys
of
dress
the
as?
Small family gathering.
Where's your picture?
It's all about a coordinated costume. And so, you know, every year try to do something kind of cool like that. And this year, you'll find it in your DMs, DJz.
Oh, wow. For those of you in the podcast audience, please allow me to share this in the graphics room. That is indeed a green griffin. All right. But that is not just any normal green griffin. That is a green griffin in tights with painted on abs. That is, ladies and gentlemen, Griffin dressed as Michelangelo of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No. Michelangelo's the orange bandana in the front.
Orange.
I'm Raphael.
That is, oh, okay. I see the brighter orange. It looks orange to me. Your mask looks orange.
DJz, Michelangelo is the party dude. Raphael is cool but rude. Michelangelo is the party dude.
I gotcha. Are you angry enough to be Raphael? All right, I don't feel like you are angry enough.
You should have caught my little live stream I did from the Pergola Cam yesterday. I got plenty angry.
Oh, did you really?
I spent $1,000 to add instant warp and summoning to my Max Vengeance. I thought that there was an event.
Maxed it
every week. I thought that there was my Vengeance is maxed, everybody. Now listen, I can explain. The week before, the rewards for the ship parts were so amazing. I just had to, as some of you did, I just had to like upgrade 2 buildings in my station, and bam, I got like a 200,000 ship parts. So I was able to get my Vengeance to tier 14 this week, even though they did the Ebenezer Scrooge stingy re-overlay of that same event, and they gave nothing away. I just accidentally got enough ship parts on that to max the Vengeance, and I did that on stream yesterday. And I was so excited because, like, okay, now I can participate in the event where I could win a chance to have instant summoning for my ship, or I can win a chance to have instant relocation for my ship. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, Griffin, no, they don't do it that way anymore. You just have, it shows up in your store and you have to buy the Prime. And so I said, okay, that sounds like a good Prime. I'm not afraid of buying a Prime. Let's go and find the Prime. It was a partial unlock, Do you know how many primes you have to buy just to get summoning?
I'm going to go
5.
Oh, wow.
5. 5.
Wow.
But wait, there's more. That's just
please.
for instant travel.
Yes,
To
obviously.
summon to other ships, to summon other ships.
Uh-huh.
That's a multi-tier prime too.
Yeah.
5.
That's messed up.
That is messed up. I agree.
It is messed up. So I did it. I did it with a crap-eating grin, and I just smiled in the camera, and I made it happen. As a cautionary tale.
Obviously.
So those of you who are chasing adventures know what to expect.
Give me hugs and kisses.
I'm sure that Scopely is highly concerned that you pointed out the $1,000 in
I am
primes.
so positive.
They
I'm
probably
full of positive energy.
didn't. They're probably deeply apologetic for the fact that you spent $1,000 on what clearly shouldn't have been $1,000. So
The only thing they're apologetic about is that I did not unlock the 3rd multi-tier prime for cloaking, which is another 5.
no, it's not. Are you kidding me right now?
5.
God bless.
However, this is why I was happy to do it, because thanks to either the FUBAR that happened last week or to their generous reallocation of ship part funds, and the fact that they had all those little efficiencies for the ship parts in the last couple of months, what was going to be like a $45,000 ship was less than a third of that. So, you know, what's an extra 500 here and 500 there? I'm sure they're thinking.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, if it was only a third of that, that means that
I think I FUBAR'd this.
that you did actually spend 15.
We don't do the math. We don't do the math. We don't do the math around here.
Anyway, so after football Friday night, all right, and it was senior night. That's going to sound like a really awkward transition on the podcast. There was no edit there. Griffin is just DMing me right now. He says, move on, move on, move on, move on, move on. So we're going to do that. Also, I do have an update from Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital in Vanderbilt coming up here in just a second. I did want to share something with you. You guys had asked. Oh, sorry, Tarpy. There you are. Hello. Hi, Tarpy. Hello, Tarpy. Hello.
Hi.
There you
It's
are.
Tarpitude.
I apparently had Discord muted. I had Discord muted. Sorry
That's
about
okay.
that. Yeah. Good evening. How was your Halloween? Good.
It was okay. It was good.
$1,500 on primes. That was the trick. What was the treat? Now he can summon.
Yeah.
It was impressive to watch.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
All right, we'll get her back here in just a second. I just saw her disconnect. So anyway.
Still the new phone.
Oh, there
I'm
you go.
still mad.
So Friday night was senior night, and Noah had a breakout game, scored a touchdown. It was fantastic. I got great video. You guys know I'm shooting a documentary for the team. I got fantastic video. Like, he ran to my side and everything. Dude, Griffin, I got to send you this video. It's so good. But anyway, what was better about it was that he had a bunch of people travel in town, including his mother. And his brother Landon traveled down to watch Noah play in his senior night. And it was great. We had probably 15 of his friends and family there. No drone accidents. I never got the drone repaired. I did not take the drone. I didn't feel like slicing my hand open again, so I didn't do that. However, while I had everybody in my house, Griffin, all right, you guys have asked before, what is Meat Fest? All right, because after Noah had such a remarkable football game, everybody stayed. So he had his brothers, he had his friends. You guys remember Christian? It was his no shirt twinsy. They came down. My house was just jam-packed. Okay, absolutely jam-packed all weekend long. That's why I couldn't even think about doing a stream yesterday, Tarpy. There was literally 12 teenagers in my house. Okay, but.
And why is this gathering called Meat Fest? Or do I need to leave the room so I'm not culpable in anything?
No. Meat Fest describes a feast, a meal that I prepare when Noah or somebody asks for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You should have led with that.
Well, we've talked about it on show before. But anyway, okay, fine. You guys want to know what Meat Fest is, and I've never had a picture to show you Meat Fest, okay? Stop it. You're going to scare the people in podcast. No, this is Meat Fest, okay? This is an entire table full of pork chops, steak, chicken, salmon, shrimp and scallops. All right, and then all the veggies. This was I made for 12 teenagers. I prepared a meat fest. Griffin, this meal probably cost a couple $100, but still better than it would have cost if we had gone out. All right.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. That's quite a spread. You have all my favorites right there.
And this is a phenomenal. Did we run out of food? There was not nearly as many leftovers as I would have expected there to be honest with you. But there were a few leftovers. Now, you guys.
I also love that DJz has adorned his table with a beautiful rose gold color flatware, which is incredible.
No, you like that? Well, except for over here.
I do like those
because I ran out. Okay, I ran out, so a couple of people
at the end they get the plastic forks.
Got to use plastic forks at the very end. So, but one of the greatest things about this particular weekend is that Landon also came home, and that was so much fun. Landon took a picture with us. He was so excited that we were ready, that we were making meat fest.
He's lost a lot of weight. Landon's been dropping the pounds.
He has lost a lot of weight. I'm a little worried about it, but he assures me that he's just, working hard and eating less and being healthy, and that's what I'm hoping that it is, and that he's not actually like starving himself or being sick or anything like that. But he was very excited. He came down from Meat Fest as well. And so thank you. That is good looking salmon. I feel like I prepared a good meal here.
He is a good cook, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
he knows how to cook a meal.
I do know how to cook. And then lastly, this is the final picture. This was about 2/3 of the crowd. A couple of them were eating in the other room or whatever, but this was there. You can see Christian in the back. There's Noah. We had Landon. You guys remember Peyton? Peyton's been there. There's little Oliver DJz, and just some other friends from back home. So did I cook everything here? Yeah, 100%. I was in the kitchen for about 2 hours. Shirts off, of course. All right. I was in the kitchen for about 2 hours and did all of this. So yeah, if you
those of you in podcasts, you won't believe how big Oliver has gotten. He looks like he's grown a half a foot.
Well, he is sitting on a taller chair, in all fairness. He's sitting on a taller, but he's huge. He's a big boy. Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah,
these pictures are in the graphics room. I just wanted to share with you guys because this, I actually got a couple of messages. I thought you were supposed to stream on Saturday. I was, but then this, like, I knew everybody was coming for the football game. I did not know that everybody was going to stay. And let me just tell you something. And I know this is going to sound a little bit silly, and I'm sorry to be emo about it, but man, Griffin, I cannot take, my heart was so full this weekend. Like yesterday, there was nothing else on my mind. There was not video gaming. There was not Scopely. There was not football. There was all my kids and their friends and family. And like, you guys remember we used to talk about, we had this question. This might have been a year or more ago. Oliver wanted to know what Caleb was. So I don't know. Do you guys remember Caleb from the mall stream? This is Caleb down here in the bottom. All right. As goofy as ever. And Oliver wanted to know what his relationship was.
He kind of looks like he could have been your fourth boy, by the way.
Oh, they all look like they could have been my boys. But this is Caleb down here in the bottom right-hand corner. And Oliver had asked at one time, what is Caleb's relationship to me? Because, like, they're not step. And I think you guys came up with something. I don't remember. Wham, what was it? You guys came up with something. What did you guys call them? It wasn't. They're not stepbrothers. Oh.
Illegitimate children?
No. No, I can't remember. You guys came up with some. Caleb is Noah and Landon's half brother, but to their mother, right? And Oliver is to their father. Cross. That's what it was. Yes, Captain Bull. They were cross brothers, I think is what they called it. Half brother-in-law. I don't know. Cross. I think that's what you guys did describe it as a cross brother. So this is Caleb, brother from another mother. That's what I could have gone with. Really, truthfully, if you think about my family structure, it's a little messed up. But does it matter? And I'm going to say this real quick because I know I've always on stream. I've always been very, very pro step family, step parents, because I feel like it takes a very, very special person. Not that it's, you know what, this is a good opportunity for me to, because my heart is so full this weekend, Griffin. I was going to say, you know what, it takes a very special person to be a step parent. It takes a very special person to love a child that is not their own child. And,
oh, yes.
And, you know, our family's kind of messed up. There's so many kids from so many partners and you know, that sounds terrible, but we're all been married and remarried, and that also sounds worse. Anyway, listen, blood or not, every single one of these people in this photograph are family to me. So having everybody here was just, man, it was such an amazing weekend. We played some video games. We cooked food and told stories. We played Jackbox together. We built a bonfire. It was just awesome, man. So yeah, yesterday
I can only possibly imagine. You know, Casa de la DJz is a big place.
It is,
and so you know, right now a lot of days it's just DJs there, and so having a house full of family and friends, I mean, there's just nothing better. Everybody knows what that feels like in some way, shape, or form. So I'm very happy that you have that experience. It's great, man. That's how you fill your heart.
Dude, my heart. That's what I told everybody I talked to yesterday. I even sent Echo a message. And because he had texted me about something, and I said, "Hey, man, I haven't even looked at the game. I can't think about the game." Oh, it was the Trick or Treat code. You guys figured out the code. He sent me a message. He was like, "They figured it out." And I was like, good job. I haven't even looked. I haven't been in Discord because I was doing, you know, hanging out with the kids and stuff. And I sent him a couple of pictures. He's like, is that who I think it is? Because, you know, Echo was there for me a great deal when I was going through this whole stuff with Landon. So he said, is that who I think it is? I said, yes, it is. He's down for the weekend. He said, man, I could cry right now. And I said, yeah, I've done that about 3 times already. So anyway, I appreciate your guys' grace. This is what I was doing yesterday. Just absolutely phenomenal time. And then I got up early this morning. Guys, I never get up early. I got up at 7 a.m. and I cooked them breakfast. Homemade biscuits and gravy, bacon, eggs, breakfast pork chops. I reheated some from last night. Yeah, I got up again this morning and cooked another huge breakfast because why not? And I may or may not have petitioned them to create the drippy biddle dance for me. We talked about that for a little while.
Oh,
too.
perfect.
Yeah, that was a
just in time for the boss's birthday party.
Yeah, yep. Very, very excited about that. Okay, very quickly, couple of updates on Christmas Angel Fun. Then we've got a video from Hammy to watch. I've got a fun little treat for you guys there. And world premiere exclusive, never before seen footage of the Carolina Panthers winning a football game. Just kidding.
Oh, wow.
No, I've got playtest footage for you guys to see tonight. We're going to be sharing that as well. So we got a lot to show off, and I'm very, very excited about being able to do that for you. First, I would like to direct your attention to the screen right up here. Griffin, let's get updated on Christmas Angel donations from over the weekend for the Christmas Angel Fund and Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee. We had a couple come in after the last podcast, and I had some employee match information come in. All right.
Ooh.
Logan Bolus, thank you for $200 into
what
the
an
Christmas
MVP.
Angel Fund. Absolutely. We also, over after the podcast, had Russ pop in on the website and dropped 5 pounds. 5 pounds. So $6.57. Thank you very much. For the children of Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital, thank you very much. That is fantastic. Iran dropped $50 into the Christmas Angel Fund and said, hashtag keep the drippy biddle. Love it. Thank you.
Wow.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Iran.
Then Fred comes in promptly and drops $100 into the Christmas Angel Fund, but then says ban the drippy biddle.
Oh, Fred.
Ooh.
Oh, man. It be like that sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Then Then we had Albus. Albus dropped in, 10 pounds, I believe. $10.51 into the Christmas Angel Fund and says another one for the Drippy Pedal. Let's go.
Thank you, Albus.
Thank you.
Dumbledore.
Appreciate that very much, Albus. Thank you. Then we had a couple more. We had two more come in that were very, very exciting to see because usually it's a little bit later in the season, Griffin, before we start to see some of these come in. But shout out Anonymous, who I know it is. They sent me a message because they had to send me their employer match information. Anonymous dropping $200 in, $100 from him and $100 from his employer match through Erickson. Thank you so very much.
Wow.
Happy holidays.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Very nice.
And our last one from the other night, Griffin, was actually an anonymous donation that did come through the QR code the other night. It was for $200. Today, I got confirmation from Google, and we talked about this one on the last show. We got our confirmation match from Google on the employer match for another $200. Happy holidays.
That's awesome. Thank you, Google.
Thank you, Google. Appreciate that very much. Which, Griffin, brings us to our grand total right now of $7,303.25. We've already completely funded one floor of the hospital. And as you can see above Griffin's head, we're 22% towards funding floor number 2. Every single floor costs $6,000, and that's what we're asking you guys to do for us this year, is to help us get even bigger, even better, and do even more good work for the children, siblings, and families at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital. The best way to give is to scan the QR code on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You can click on that. You can also click on the link that is in the Twitch chat right now, and I'll drop it over into the YouTube chat as well if you guys would like that. If you're listening in podcast, come on over and visit our Discord, visit our website, and there's links there. And all of these donations go directly to Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital. If you wanted to go through our page, you are certainly welcome to do so. ! Tip, ! Donate. But the absolute best way is to scan the QR code and get the donation done that way. Clark asked a really good question. Why is the amount there different? Because some people did actually use our donation platform, and I have not forwarded those funds on over yet. So, for example, right now, if you look at their page, they're showing $4,298. That means we've got roughly $2,500 in our account that we need to forward on over to them, and I did not do that this weekend. So that will happen. And that's why I say it's almost silly because we end up paying fees twice. So if you want to donate through our platform, you absolutely can. Tarpy says, is there a benefit to donating to one or the other? Yeah, absolutely. All the benefits lie in scanning the QR code because A, they're a 501c3 and I am not. So a 501c3 is going to get you a tax deduction receipt, and they're going to give you that receipt right there when you make your donation. And two, we're going to be paying Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and Amex fewer fees because there's only one transaction. When you give directly to Monroe Carroll, then, you know, they're charging just that one time versus if the money comes to me, then I got to turn around and forward it back over to the hospital. So that is the best way to give. However, we're not going to turn anything away. If your best way to give, or if the easiest way or the most convenient way for you to give is to use our link at ! Tip, ! Donate, then absolutely feel free to do so, and we will forward those on. And probably about once a week, I will take all of that and just kind of dump that over to the hospital. Juby says, I would rather use the way that screws you the most.
You know, that Juby has been in such a terrible mood. Yesterday, Tarpatu pointed that I went live on my little Twitch thing, and he did a throw-up emoji to that post. Now he's trying to turn the screws to you. What is wrong with you, Dr. Juby?
What is wrong with you, Juby? I do have the question. Mad Hatter says,
probably
hey,
maxed
DJ,
his vengeance too. That's
dude,
why.
Do you have a Discord link to the QR code so it can be shared on Alliance Discord channels? I can give you the hyperlink if you want, and I can also give you the actual QR code. So I will tag you over in Discord right now, Mad Hatter. There's the link, and I think, Tarpy, do you have the QR code? Maybe I've got it here. Let's see. Streaming assets. Oh, here it is. There's
I
the
don't
QR.
have this year's.
Got it.
I have last year's.
Well, there it is right there. And you know what? Actually, if you remind me, Tarpy, after the game, after the game, I'm getting ESPN updates on my phone. Not that it matters because Green Bay lost a stupid game today. Stupid. Green Bay. Stupid.
Breathe.
You're not mad or anything.
Just breathe. You're fine.
Anyway, after the show, I'll put this stuff over in the announcements room or somewhere where you guys will be able to find it, okay? But thank you so much for your continued generosity. Listen, we've got a lot of work to go. $78,000 is the goal this year. But we still have a lot of folks who are just now. I mean, we really only officially started, 3-4 days ago. So we've still got some time to go.
Yeah.
We still got some time to go. Employer matches. You guys know that during the month of November, a lot of employers out there will offer matches. So be sure to keep your eyes open for that through your employer. And let's double down. All right. Let your donation be matched by an employer who offers that. And we'll be able to double up on the impact that we've got for the children this year at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital. The goal is $78,000. Amongst that, Griffin, here's what your $78,000 will do. All right? $78,000 will fund all 13 floors of the hospital. Every child, every patient, every sibling will be taken care of this holiday season. Not only that, Griffin.
And for the following year, don't forget about the karaoke machine that we're doing in the rooms. Don't forget about the gaming systems we bought. Don't forget about the toys that we replenished the closet with all year long throughout 2026.
You're absolutely
Your
right.
gift keeps on giving throughout the entire year, you guys. And that's why it's so important to get involved.
It is. Zach, thank you. $16.13 into the Christmas Angel Fund. Thank you so very much.
Thank you,
I
Zach.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, listen, what you guys have done last year is unbelievable. What we're doing this year is, that's right, the mobile recording studio, the filling of the warehouse, taking care of all the all the patients, and all throughout the year, and all. Man, I'm speechless when I think about what you guys have done. Again, like I say, this weekend has been so therapeutic for me, Griffin. My heart is full. It's full from the community. It's full from family. And so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Scopely shows us tonight because I cannot be brought down.
Oh, well, that's a hold my beer moment if ever I've seen one.
Yeah. All right. There you go, Omega Prime. That's right. That is a hold my beer moment. As a matter of fact, it is time. If there are no other questions, Michiz says risky words. Listen, I'm going to show you a lot of stuff tonight. All right, I'm going to show you a lot of stuff tonight. See, you know what? I tell you, it was. I was starting to get hot, so I took off my robe, and now I'm freezing again. Now I got to put the robe back on. I was cold. I mean, I was hot, and now I'm cold. I got to put. I can't get it
Typical
just
cat
right.
on the wrong side of every door.
I can't get it just right.
Never temperature controlled.
Gosh, ow! Did you see what I just did?
Okay.
Ow!
Yes.
I can't get it just right out here. Anyway,
There's a that's what she said in there somewhere.
Okay.
no. All right. It's not menopause. All right. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, listen, I told you guys a couple of days ago that I wasn't feeling good about November. All right. I was reminded of a clip that was given to me from the beginning, I guess maybe during week 2 at some point, where I said, if everything goes wrong, you can blame Pac. Now, obviously, I was being super sarcastic, but I had seen the content that day, and I wasn't feeling super great about it. All right?
I don't know why. I'm feeling fantastic about it. I think that you're a Debbie Downer. You're too busy trying to halfway work and not paying attention that you have these misconceptions about what this content is all about. That's what I think.
You think? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I know so.
By the way, here's the thing.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be great.
It's not the concept. The concept is fine. Okay? The concept is fine. The content looks great. All I want is for it to work. Is that so much to ask?
Well,
Scopely says yes.
in fact, it is.
Yes.
It is.
It is. It is too much to ask for new content to work. But
Oh man,
That is all right.
See, let's revisit that good mood that you're in.
I'm in a great
it's
mood.
Already gone.
I'm in a fantastic mood. Look, I'm smiling. I'm feeling great.
Sure you are.
All right, listen, I'm going to tell you
Sure
all
you
about
are.
it tonight. It's fine. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. All right, I've got. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I need to pull up my. I got a thing of notes here. Where are my notes?
Well,
there are my notes. I've got.
we do have this video from Hammy, and we're gonna watch it, and we're gonna critique it, and we're gonna see the ins and outs of it right here, right?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, before we start, and I should remind everybody who is listening in podcast, this will be a highly visual show. It will be available for replay on both Twitch and YouTube. But we're going to do our best to describe everything that we see. Sorry, I'm scratching my foot.
And for the first time ever on Hell's Kitchen, we are featuring a brand new counter.
I have a new counter.
As we watch the video, UltimatDJz.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the brand new Hammy's Blink counter. All right, we've got that. All right, I've got Hammy's Blink counter on the screen. So that way we can watch Hammy's video and not at all be distracted by the fact that Hammy may or may not appear to the outside world as a serial killer who never blinks. Okay?
Or a hostage. It
could be. I'm not 1,000% sure either way. Okay? 50-50, one way or another. All right, we've got Hammy's Blinkovision ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and pull up Hammy's video on Outpost and the November 2025 ARC launch. Here we go.
War echoes across the galaxy as new frontiers open along the borders of Federation, Klingon, and Romulan territories. With them comes a powerful new feature for Ops 51 Plus commanders, Solo Outposts. Solo Outposts will remain active for the full duration of both months of the Deep Space Nine Retribution arc before transitioning to a recurring live feature appearing at set times throughout each month. Outposts appear in specially marked systems and introduce a unique gameplay mode distinct from armadas or hostiles. The retaliation attackers defending Outposts are not classified.
Pause. Okay, here we got it. We got to pause. All right. By the way, that wasn't me. I didn't pause. I had my finger on the blink button, but it never came. All right. Mord says,
so we are still blinkless.
We are still blinkless. Hammy's blink counter is still at 0, everybody. Mord says Hammy is blinking off screen right now. I don't believe you. Okay. I don't believe you, by the way. All right. Let's back up a little bit and take a look at why Griffin wanted to pause. First of all, we do see these specialty systems outside of G5 space, at least for the level 51 through 60 of the Solo Outposts. All right. And we're going to talk a little bit about what the Outposts actually do here in just a few moments. I'm going to let Hammy get through most of his video because I feel bad right now that his eyes are actually propped open with toothpicks. But Griffin, you wanted a pause. What do you got here for us?
Well, it seems to me like we have a new feature, a new mechanic in the game that it sounds like initially what we were doing with
don't say it. Don't do it. Nope. Nope. I'm worried about what you're getting ready to say. Are you getting ready to jinx the whole arc?
No. It sounds like what we had originally experienced with like a Ceres invasion fleet style event that comes and goes, but he said that for the first month or so, it's going to be around permanently and then it's going to return here and there. So I'm interested in what that would look like for that type of event to be there the whole entire month for us to participate in.
I'm going to go back and listen. I want to listen to what he says right here. Let's check that out again.
Before transitioning to a recurring live feature Solo Outposts.
We're screwed, aren't we?
Solo Outposts will remain active for the full duration of both months of the Deep Space Nine Retribution arc.
So Deep Space Nine is what we know our theme to be. And Hammy just confirmed what I knew I could tell you is that this feature will be on for the entire duration of the 2 months. But then, yes, we should all be scared at the fact that this will now become a quote-unquote recurring event, as Griffin points out, like War Room and Ceres Invasion and
Right, and all these wonderful stores with valuable currencies locked behind them for, just waiting for them to run with bated breath.
Or transitioning to a recurring live feature appearing at set times throughout each month. Outposts appear in specially marked systems and introduce a unique gameplay mode distinct from armadas or hostiles. The retaliation attackers defending...
Now look there, DJz.
Okay.
Like you said,
Why are you
it looks like we're in G5 Klingon.
Were you pointing a knife at me, bro?
I'm checking my mail. I'm just checking my mail. I've got letters. I've got stacks and stacks of letters that I have to open around here.
I'm glad
I'm running
that
a business.
new
I'm running a family. I'm running a household.
Glad the new arc is so exciting to you that while we're watching the preview video, you're reading your junk mail.
It looks like
He's
the
reading his
G5
mail.
Klingon system, and it.
Oh God, sorry.
Just relax. Would you? It looks
I
like
read
we have
an A.
get back to that. You're not being the best partner right now. You're not being the best driver.
No,
I don't
great.
know why.
I'm listening fully attentively. Tarpy, what were you gonna say?
I was looking at what Griffin was reading it. I read an A instead of an I, which will make no sense to the podcast audience. But
Wait, what?
what was the title?
He's reading Centerfold magazine, is what he's reading right now.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I do get it for the
instead of an
articles.
I.
That's for sure.
Obviously, it's just for the reading. Okay. Now, back to the video, Griffin. Go ahead.
There's a G5 Klingon system. Then there's a new branch off that we have not seen before, indicating this is where the new feature is going to live. And it looks like those systems were all G5 rated systems. Is that correct?
This one is. Yes, this one is. This cluster. As a matter of fact, we've got, and if we can take a look at the blog post here in a little bit, there are a number of these available, G5, G6, and G7. So there will be an opportunity for you guys to play in these, and there's a variety of levels of these things, and I'm going to explain how that works coming up in just a few moments to explain why there are a few that certain players may or may not want to target. All right, because each of them are offering different styles of rewards. So we're going to talk a little bit about that coming up here in just a few moments. Let's continue with Hammy's video.
Choose a unique gameplay mode distinct from armadas or hostiles. The retaliation attackers defending Outposts are not classified as traditional hostiles or armadas, meaning crews with hostile or armada-specific abilities will not work against them.
Pause! Okay, first of all, it is slightly humorous to me. Like I said, I'm very optimistic and very happy today, so nothing can bring me down. So instead of being pessimistic about this claim, Griffin, I'm just going to laugh at the very funny joke that Hammy just told, that Scopely knows the difference between hostiles, armadas, and non-specified hostiles. I thought it was a hilarious joke. Punchline was phenomenal.
It's a real,
It's a great
it's a
joke.
real knee slapper.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that here in this video we talk about hostiles, we talk about armadas, we don't talk about invading entities.
No.
We don't talk about solo armadas.
No.
We don't talk about gold hostiles.
No.
I mean, the jokes just keep on coming.
Hold on. Actually.
DJ.
What?
What is wrong with you?
Nothing, Jeff. I'm explaining the punchline to the joke. Okay. However, what I can tell you is we are going to need to test this thoroughly. All right. This was brought up in playtest as, is it going to be like an invading entity kind of thing where the verbiage matters, like hostiles and armadas, like those officer abilities may work and may not. We didn't have an opportunity to test that, to my knowledge. What we do know, and I'm very curious as to how this works. These have been coded like mission bosses, except they're not a mission boss. So those old TNG officers are not going to work, just like they don't work, now in invading entities. All right. So Mad Mel says 5 Lorca Con. That is what I ran my test with. Here's the problem. You need more than one crew. You're, as a matter of fact, going to eventually need up to 4 ships for these things. You'll start out being able to do 2, but as you level up the companion building, what?
Okay. Was that a part of the video?
The building is on our screen right now. Thank God.
Okay, good.
All right. Outpost. Thank goodness.
That's not the building. That's the thing. That's the outpost.
It says you have to upgrade the Outpost command center in your station to increase the number of ships you can send into combat. All right. So,
boy,
Outpost,
you got really lucky on that one, pal.
No, I've spent the entire afternoon combing footage. I know what I'm looking for. Outposts are powerful new targets found across the galaxy. Once discovered, you will spend Outpost strike directives to launch an attack against them using several of your ships. Several means 2, up to 4 as you level the ship up. You'll upgrade the Outpost command center in your station to increase the number of ships you can send into combat. Once you do that, you will defeat an outpost. All ships that participated in that battle will be docked onto the outpost. Each outpost holds a unique set of buffs which can be upgraded while you hold the outpost. Keywords. We're going to explain this mechanic coming up in a few moments. While holding the outpost, retaliation attackers will occasionally spawn and try to retake it. You will have to repel these attacks to get additional rewards. The longer you survive, the better the rewards will be. When your outpost fails, when you die, or if you survive all of the incoming attacks, the outpost will expire. All of your materials will have been looted, and all of your docked ships are then released. Any outpost buffs that were upgraded are reset to level 0, but all rewards gained along the way are kept. Now, this is also crucial. We're going to talk about this coming up in a minute. You'll exchange the loot that you gained in the Outpost refinery to unlock exclusive rewards. Okay? So, I'm going to come back to Hammy. This is a lot to unpack. Okay? This is a lot to unpack. I'm going to explain everything to you here in just a minute. Okay, a couple of questions in chat. Trolls are going to be a pain. Fortunately, Riskbreaker, there is no PvP allowed. When you are in an outpost, you are essentially in a non-armada circle. Okay? So you can't be attacked. However, if you die to the hostile, that's it. There's no repairing and sending back. So you will not be able to add ships to the outpost after the original start. Nuke says, is it kind of like in a wave? That's right. The mechanic is similar. You start with however many ships you want, okay, up to your limit. So, like, I run waves with 2 ships now. I don't know if anybody else does that. That's because of things we don't talk about. Anyway, I run with 2 ships, and I don't take my 3rd ship anymore, okay? So, can you buff the ships in the outpost, says Albadron? Yes, you can. Oh, hello, Morgan Freeman.
I know this arc is not that great from the fact that Hammy's nipples are not hard throughout the video.
Oh,
sorry for spoiler.
Forgot to turn those off during this podcast.
It is a podcast.
It is a podcast. Yeah.
You will now.
Thanks. Going to go ahead and turn those bad lads off. Thank you very much. Anyway. So, Cruzito says, but you can kill them before they get to the outpost. Yes, until the timer, right? It's got a timer, and I'm going to show you this. It's just like an armada, except it's not an armada. Once you get to the 10-second counter on the circle, then you are now safe. Okay, you are now a part of that outpost battle. Kellenvor, thank you for your 13-month resub. Thank you. McSurgeon, 33 months. McDougal, 30 months. Casey Jones dropping a gifted sub. Captain Shaw, thank you for your 15-month resub. Jimmy, thank you for the follow. Captain Bull, 38 months on the resub. Jay Carlo, 30 months on the resub. Thank you guys so very much. Alex, thank you for the 7-month resub. I didn't read those at the beginning. Thank you. Wilson, thank you for the 26-month resub. Appreciate all you guys. All right, so you won't be able to attack once you get to your 10-second timer, okay? Any other questions that I can answer super quick? Otherwise, we need to get through rewards. I'm going to get to it, all right? Rewards are going to get to it. Mord says 2 hostile types, no armada, then surviving waves. 2 hostile types? What do you mean by hostile types? I don't know what you mean by that. But yes, you're going to participate in the non-armada, and then you are going to be surviving waves of PvE hostiles. Okay? So we're going to talk about that here coming up in a minute. Rasslin says, is there a level lock? Well, the content, if I'm not mistaken, is Ops 51 to play. However, your building, the Outpost Command Center, will be level locked to how many ships you can bring and what rewards you're going to get. Which, again, I can't be brought down tonight. But if I could be brought down, I would be brought down by the fact that G7 players will be earning G5 rewards until the command center gets to be a level of G7 level. But that's not going to bring me down because nothing can bring me down this weekend. Okay? That Benny Hills Ghost says, sweet! There you go. Tarpy says, and that killed it. Well, I'm going to show you video of what my Ops 71 account was earning. Now, granted, I only leveled my building to level 1 during the playtest. I literally just took it to level 1 so that I could play in the playtest. And I'm going to show you what my rewards were, okay? We'll do that coming up here in just a moment. All right, let's nothing can bring him down this weekend except Panthers beating the Packers. You know what? That did piss me off.
Oh.
That wore me out.
Well, see, you sound a little unhappy there.
I'm great. Everything is good.
I don't hear a smile.
I am smiling hugely, bigly right now. I've got the hugest smile. I've got the best smile. Let's continue with the video, please.
Solo Outpost is a formidable stronghold that demands time and strategy to conquer. Outpost strike directives are used to launch an outpost attack, and they will be sourced for free every 2 days through an in-game gift. Once an outpost is claimed, the opposing faction...
It was an inexcusable loss, Loki. I don't understand.
Oh, here we go.
I can't understand what you were thinking.
Push play on the video. We're not pausing for NFL.
Video.
Let's go.
The field goal? What? God,
Just push play.
launches wave-based retaliation attackers every 5 minutes.
The Packers are a good team, Zach. The Packers were 5-1-1. Okay, I don't understand.
The longer commanders endure, the greater their rewards, turning each encounter into a multi-hour survival challenge. Holding an outpost...
Whoa! Did he say
That's a big one.
multi-hour? Did he say multi-hour?
Yeah.
Back it up. Back it up, Terry.
That's
Back
what I
it up.
heard. Let's go to the instant
The longer
replay.
commanders endure, the greater their rewards, turning each encounter into a multi-hour survival challenge.
Whoa. As a matter of fact, let's do the math on this, guys. I've got a little bit of math for you. It's 1 hostile every 5 minutes for a duration of 72 hostiles. That's 360 minutes. That would be 6 hours.
Now, but hold on. Everybody's all up in arms about the whole 6 hours. Okay.
That's right.
This is a brand.
Sorry. I was reading chat.
This is a brand new style of play. This is a new feature in the game that plays completely unlike anything that we have played before.
It's true. As a matter of fact, this to me, and I'm going to give you some early strategy tips, okay? This is not something that we are going to be actively playing during our game day. Okay? I'm going to explain this to you coming up here in just a little bit. To me, this is a very, very passive mechanic. Okay, I can't die. Unless I die to the hostiles, right? I can't die unless I die to the hostiles. Like, nobody can come and kill me. If I'm at war, nobody can kill me. So this is absolutely this is an overnight thing, okay? To earn currency. But then there is an active way to play to enjoy some of the buffs. And I'll tell you right now that there's a couple of different style buffs. I'm going to tell you right now. PvP, PvE, utility. Utility. Interesting. We're going to talk about that coming up here in just a little bit. Okay? So I'm going to withhold judgment. I actually kind of like the fact that it's going to take me 0 extra time.
Or effort.
It's an overnight mechanic for me. I'm going to explain. Okay, let's continue.
Building an outpost also grants access to temporary outpost upgrades, powerful time-limited buffs active only while the outpost remains under player control. Unlocking at Ops 51 through the Outpost Command Schematics gift, the Outpost Control Center initially upgrades by using common Outpost command cores, which are earned through solo Outpost battles.
Pause. All right, very quickly. We just heard two little nuggets. One, obviously we heard Hammy confirm that the buffs are active while we hold the outpost. Okay. We also heard that the Outpost Control Center is going to be upgraded originally with common parts. Don't know if you heard him say that. Common parts. Okay. Let's continue.
Upgrades, powerful time-limited buffs active only while the outpost remains under player control. Unlocking at Ops 51 through the Outpost Command Schematics gift, the Outpost Control Center initially upgrades by using common Outpost command cores, which are earned through solo Outpost battles. The building grants major benefits including increased Outpost loot, enhanced weapon damage versus Outposts, and improved HHP for Federation, Romulan, and Klingon ships.
Okay, hold on. We've got to pause right here because for whatever reason, he does not talk about, in my opinion, which may be the coolest feature of this building as of this moment. Now, maybe he talks about it later in the video. I don't know. Haven't watched the video yet because I still wanted to keep an honest reaction to the blink counter. Let's read the buffs that this building provides. First of all, First of all, I don't know if I can zoom in because it's a video. No, I can't really. First, let's talk about Outpost fleet size. Well, obviously, there's 2, okay, at level 1. Weapon damage against outposts. All right, we get an increase in damage boost. Fantastic. Hull health points for faction ships. All right, well, that could be watered down. But again, we're looking at 100% here at level 1. Fortunately, in my playtest footage, I captured those values all the way up. So we're going to be able to see some common points, maybe 15, 25, 50, 70, 80. We'll be able to see them all. However, we do see a couple of interesting unknown ones. Oh, well, here's Outpost loot bonus, 9%. That's going to matter when I talk to you here a little bit later. Okay? Aha! Mord says, can you explain the difference between storage and capacity? Absolutely, Mord. Absolutely. Be happy. Let me read these top 3 abilities, just in case anybody didn't know what they were. Material fragment production, material fragment storage, and material fragment capacity. Now, Mord, if you were taking these terms and comparing them to an existing mechanic in the game, what would you associate them with? Warehouses and vaults. Correct, Vul. Production, storage, and capacity equates to warehouses, generators, and vaults. Interesting. So we're looking at a material generator, a material
generator,
warehouse, and a material vault. How interesting.
That is a major plot twist. Ladies and gentlemen,
that is indeed what I would describe as a plot twist. This is indeed, ladies and gentlemen, a material generator. No, Shelby, this is not how you get Sigma. This is not how you get Sigma resources. This is material fragments that can then be converted into materials of choice. You will now be generating your own materials. Very cool. Riskbreaker says it's going to be slow. Yeah. Well, at level 1, it certainly is going to be slow. Okay. Is it rateable? No. Okay.
It's Scopely Bitcoin, says Benny Hill's Ghost. That's exactly right.
All right. The refinery cost is going to be significant. I feel like it probably is. I do not know. All right. Shelby says, so this is the G7 economy? Depends. Shelby, it depends on the level of the Outpost Control Center. At level 1, it's going to start paying you G5 stuff. Hercules says, so again, no vaults. Kind of. So here's what you're looking at. Material fragment production, how many fragments per hour? The storage is is where your generator stops working, right? We see that now. Like, you remember when your generator turns green and blinky and it stops? That's right, Hercules. Generator capacity. Okay? And then material fragment capacity is the warehouse. That's how much you can hold before you've got to start refining it, or you just stop making it. Are the refinery turn-ins based on building level or ops? Sadly, Pong, it is building level. All right? And I'm going to show you what that looks like coming up here in a little bit. But this is a material generator. Okay? Continuing on.
Versus Outposts, and improved HHP for Federation, Romulan, and Klingon ships. At level 40, it also expands the Outpost fleet size to 3 ships.
There you go. Level 40, you can now get your 3rd ship. Okay? 3rd ship, level 40 of the building.
Outpost fleet size to 3 ships. Constructing the Outpost Control Center also unlocks the Material Fragment Generator, which produces material fragments that can be exchanged for refined ore, crystal.
Boom. Here we go. Let's take a look at this, Griffin.
There you go.
Okay? So he did. I should have just been a little bit more patient. Here you go. 15,000 fragments will equal 1 pull in the G5 refinery. Okay? This is the G5 refinery. Now, notice that all of these say chance. Okay? I do not know what the odds are. What we're looking at, podcast audience, is a refinery that contains varying amounts of par steel, titanium, dilithium, epic materials, rare materials, uncommon materials, and even common materials. I have no idea how many rolls. I do not know any of that information. We will hopefully have all of that information in just a couple of days with Jules Verne. All right? But you will be able to pull, and it looks like have the chance at significant numbers of materials and potentially resources. Okay? Let's continue.
And gas. Supporting systems include the material fragment storage, which determines how many fragments.
Hey, right here, this screenshot actually gives us a little bit of information, Griffin. All right? Looks like we got 5 rolls. 6 rolls. 1 for each resource, 1 for each flavor of material. So you're going to get 1 roll for gas. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1 roll for gas, 1 roll for crystal, 1 roll for ore, and then 1 for steel, 1 for trite, and 1 for dill. 6 rolls, and then presumably, Griffin, their rarity and quantity will be your odds, right? So, for example, if we look here, there's 2 different epic ore, 2 rare ore, 2 uncommon ore, and 2 common ore pulls. So you've got 8 potential odds there. As far as ore pulls, and you're going to pull 1 of those. Okay?
So it's like a high-low for each material.
A high-low, but you're guaranteed a roll of each resource and material. So, hey, not necessarily a bad thing, especially from the resource front. Okay? Throwing that out there. But you're going to get 1 from each flavor. Okay? Continuing.
Fragment storage, which determines how many fragments can be held, and the material fragment warehouse, which defines total capacity. Operating like other station generators.
I'm going to point out that we do see grade 5, which is consistent with what I experienced during the playtest, Griffin. Grade 5 is what you get pretty much starting out. I am going to assume that you start earning grade 6 materials at Ops 60. And I'm going to assume...
On Ops 60 or building level?
Building. Sorry. Well...
I think building, not ops
I think
level.
It's building level. Yeah, I don't think this is right. I think it's building level because when I played, I only had the G5 refinery. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This says Ops 70. We'll see clarification, but I'm pretty sure it's building level.
So improving is different than getting a different grade. So it just goes up in the amounts that you get if it improves versus changing grade. Does that make sense? So it's like... For some of the other refineries we have, it says improve at Ops 68. So it just goes up in the amount that you get.
So I see what you're saying. So it might unlock the grade 6 generator, but at 70, it gets better with quantities. Okay, that can make sense.
Right.
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
that does make sense. Note on your screen that at least in the playtest environment, this did in fact have a 72-hour cooldown on the material generator. Okay. Now, do keep in mind, I mean, we were looking at some of these values. It's going to take you a while to earn some of that stuff. All right. I mean, we saw 15,000. Well, it's going to take a little while to earn enough of that stuff. And not only that, but we were also looking at, here we go. We're looking at the fragment capacity, 300,000, for example, at level 1. Well, here to tell you, at level 1, you couldn't even pull a double pull. So there is going to be incentive to level that building up so that you can actually pull the double pulls every 3 days. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, continuing on.
Crystal, and gas. Supporting systems include the material fragment storage, which determines how many fragments can be held, and the material fragment warehouse, which defines total capacity. Operating like other station generators, it automatically accumulates resources over time, letting commanders passively generate and trade fragments for the materials they need. Solo outposts are divided into two enemy capacity.
I don't think we got 2. Did we actually get 2? We're going to watch this one very, very closely, everybody.
I was counting each eyeball. Are we counting each eyeball as a blink, or when they blink together as a
pair of a blink? All right, let's just double check. We're going to make sure.
Like other station generators, it automatically accumulates resources over time, letting commanders passively generate and trade fragments for the materials they need.
Nope, that was
Solo
just one,
outposts
guys.
are divided into two.
It looked like his left eye started to blink, but it didn't get all the way close.
Changed his mind.
And his right eye was just, his right eye was 100% full the entire time. It was like the left eye thought the right eye was going to blink, and it was like, oh, you're not blinking? Okay, not me either then. All right? Yeah. So, yeah, that is one tick on the Hammy blink counter. All right, if we're continuing there. All right, coming back to the video.
It automatically accumulates resources over time, letting commanders passively generate and trade fragments for the materials they need. Solo outposts are divided into two enemy layers, the outposts themselves and the retaliation attackers that defend them. There are 4 distinct outpost factions: Independent, Cardassian, Node, and Borg. Cardassian outposts can be found near Federation. Distinct outpost factions: Independent, Cardassian, Node, and Borg.
Hang on.
Themselves and the retaliation attackers that defend them. There are 4 distinct outpost factions: Independent, Cardassian, Node, and Borg.
That is very interesting, Griffin, because in our playtest, there were only 3.
There were only 3. That's a 25% increase. Are there 3 graphics there that he flipped through, or there were only 3?
No,
3 or 4.
No,
I only saw 3 graphics.
Let's see. Here's the independent one. That's independent.
Where?
Oh, you can't see. Hang on. Let me switch the program view over. Sorry.
No, I can see. No, you're good. I've got it on. Go ahead.
Okay. So here's the independent one. All right, my tracking.
The outposts themselves and the retaliation attackers that
That's an independent.
defend them. There are 4 distinct outpost factions:
Independent, right there. I see IND on the screen.
Cardassian.
There's a Cardassian.
Node and Borg.
Node and Borg. Okay, so they are showing 4. That is interesting. Where there were only 3 in the playtest, and that's why I said your bonuses, your buffs, are broken into 3 categories, which they told us was PvE, PvP, and utility. Okay?
So what's this 4th one? We don't know.
I have no idea. All right, no clue. Very, very interesting. All right, let's continue.
Cardassian outposts can be found near Federation space, Node outposts near Klingon space, and Borg outposts near Romulan space, while
Now, I do want to point out for those in the podcast audience, this particular piece of the video is going to be very, very important because these systems are not well marked, okay? I will tell you, that was one of my biggest critiques during the playtest is it took me for freaking ever to find them. And I ended up needing to have the name of the system so that I could find it. I would highly recommend that either our moderators clip that, like a screenshot of that, and put it in the graphics room, or just go and watch the YouTube video from Hammy so that you know where these are going to be. I do not feel like they are well marked in the game. Okay, so they were actually frustratingly difficult for me to find when I was in the playtest. They said that they would try to mark them better, but in case that didn't get into production, just know that they are very well tucked away. So use this video guide to know where they are going to be found. More just thanks for the for the shout. Yeah, no, they were tough. They were tough to find. Okay, so be sure to look for that piece of the video. Maybe just clip that a little screenshot so you know in relation to where the other systems are how easy or where you'll be able to find it. Okay.
They're very dispersed. They're in multiple locations. That's the issue.
Yeah, they were tough to find. Okay, so there you go.
And Borg out.
Now, it does look like they have glowy nebulas here. I can tell you that didn't exist during the playtest. So if that's what they've done to help. But I'll tell you, how many different nebulas do we have now? There are so many nebulas in the game even now. So that is not going to be something that helps me, for example. So anyway, just so you know, depending on what you're looking for, that may be helpful for you to make a note of, okay?
Outposts near Romulan space, while independent outposts make a brief appearance in G5 regions. In G7 space, all 3 major outpost factions appear together, creating some of the most challenging encounters yet. All solo outposts share the diverted power ability, preventing critical hit damage against them from falling below a set percentage. Each faction, however, features its own unique mechanics and upgrade paths that push commanders to adapt to their combat strategy and ship setups for maximum effectiveness. Independent solo outposts act as tutorial encounters, giving players a chance to learn the feature's mechanics. Their outpost upgrade buffs enhance weapon damage against retaliation attackers, increase HHP, improve mitigation versus hostiles and armadas, and strengthen isolitic defense in PvP and station combat. The Cardassian solo outpost ability is Nor-class deflectors, which boosts the outpost's apex barrier at the start of combat. Their upgrade buffs focus on improving apex shred, cargo capacity, loot from hostiles, officer stats, HHP, mining speed, and hazard protection.
Now, what is interesting to me is that he's talking about all these buffs that do not exist on this particular screen. That is because different buffs belong to different levels of hostile. Okay? So this is one thing that we are going to look to Jules Verne for when the ARC launches. Hey, Wilson, thanks for donating a sub. Appreciate that. That is something we're going to look to the Talking Trek Lab Rats when the ARC launches, is to get an idea of what buffs belong with which nodes, which factions, if you will, and which levels. All right, because they are all different. That was something that I tried to highlight in my playtest footage, but there were too many combinations. I couldn't get everything. Okay. Mord says, how many outposts can you occupy at once? One time. All right. Now, Alpaca asked an interesting question, which I'm not ready to answer just yet, but hang on to it. He said, why is he talking about PvP buffs if your ships are protected from PvP? Because the intent of this feature, yeah, Jules, that'd be great. I didn't even see you in the audience. What's up, baby boy? How are you? Happy weekend. Was your Halloween good? Good to see you, Jules. Alpaca, the intent of this feature is interesting to me in that if you are going to play this during an active time, you are sending a ship or two to hold the outpost while you are playing in the rest of the game. Now, here's somebody asked earlier, why does this thing take 6 hours? Because that is, I'm going to use layman's terms, that is the amount of your exocomp bonus. For those of you in podcast, I'm doing finger quotes in the air. I am going to make this in a way that we can understand compared to existing mechanics. When you capture an outpost, the duration of which you hold the outpost is the duration of which the buffs you have on your account for you to do other things. Shelby says,
with your other ships that are not locked away.
With your other ships, that's right. Tarpy says, Shelby says, finally, a use for my second set of epics. Yup.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like an away team, but for the ships. You're sending your ships out on an away team for a specific amount of time, at which point exocomps are activated for you to use elsewhere in the game if you so choose. Or
That's
maybe
right.
it's sleepy time and you don't.
Now, why would somebody run them at sleepy time? Interesting question. Why would somebody run these at sleepy time? The reason we're going to run these at sleepy time is to earn currency, earn extra loot, earn the stuff that we're going to be spending on these buffs. Okay? So no Scribbler. I don't mean to confuse. These are not exocomps. They are not exocomps. I am using this in terms that we may understand, which would be an exocomp style mechanic. Okay? Kellenbor says, are they giving me more docs? Nope. You've got 8. Maybe. 7, possibly. 6, perhaps. Depends on your ops. Okay? So, if you're going to passively, there's 2 game modes, which we're going to get into when we get to the playtest footage. 2 game modes. Actually, Omicron, they can be sped up, and I'm going to explain that. Okay? There's 2 game modes. The passive, which is we're going to let this thing run overnight. Overnight, every single hostile I kill, I am earning more stuff. I'm earning stuff that I will spend on my buffs. Okay? I don't remember the names of them at the moment, but I'm going to give them to you here in a little bit. I'm earning stuff.
We'll call them thingies.
Thingies. Okay? Gaskets. We're going to call them gaskets. All right? Now, that's the passive way. I'm just earning loot. That's why you've got loot bonuses in a couple of different places, including in the building itself. Did you guys remember seeing that? There was Outpost hostile loot. Can your ships die before 6 hours? Oh, you betcha. As a matter of fact, I did not finish the one that I was in. And during the playtest, they accelerated them. There wasn't 5 minutes. They put them at, I think, 10 or 15 seconds. So
30 seconds.
Yeah, so that we could try to play the whole thing. But no, I died. I died way before the end. Okay? So, Grouchy LL says, so is this a surge-style event that we don't need 71s for? No, this is a solo mechanic. Completely solo. You cannot send back after you're destroyed, but you can quit early. This is your speed-up mechanic, so to speak, Omicron. You can quit at any time. All right, you just stop earning the loot, and at which time you lose your buffs. If you quit the outpost, then you're done. You can leave at any time of your choosing. But when you no longer own or control the outpost, then you lose the temporary exocomp style buffs that you've got in place on your account. Does that make sense? So you're going to, if you're going to play actively, if you're going to have ships holding the outpost while you're going to use these buffs and go do other things, then yeah, Shelby's got it. Some of your duplicate ships will be very, very helpful. As a matter of fact, in this video from Hammy, we actually saw a screenshot here just a moment ago about the ships that they were using, and I don't know if I can find it super quick. The ships that they were using was a Protector and a Revenant. I can't find the clip now.
We'll take your word for it.
But, yeah, you're going to... here we go. All right, look. There is what looks to be an NX-01, a Revenant, and a Protector in this particular outpost. All right? So, interesting concepts that we're going to be looking at this. We're going to be looking at how to run these. There will be a few extra bonus starts up front for you guys to tinker with, but it's definitely going to be a balancing act. It's definitely going to be a balancing act because I don't want to send my absolute best ships to this thing unless I'm farming loot.
Unless it's sleepy time. If it's sleepy time, and somebody made this point earlier, it started with Cruzito saying, oh, so this replaces overnight mining. Kind of, but no, you can still have your overnight miners out there. There's 3 of them, right? Then maybe you have your 2 or 3 best ships activated in this overnight capture the flag type thing, passively grinding away and getting you your currencies, during which time these abilities that DJz called quote unquote exocomps, these buffs, these temporary buffs that only exist while you're in the active capture are going, and you could choose to send other ships to go do other things and use those buffs at the same time or not. You just have what's going on in your little unit there running, and then you wake up and you got the loot. Why do you want this loot if the buffs evaporate at the end of the mechanic? Well, when you run the next mechanic, now you have plenty of that loot to invest in these buffs.
That's right.
There
That's
you go.
why I say
That's the whole loop.
Yeah, there's two game modes here. Passive, which you're just earning loot, and then active, where you're going to want to be a little bit more choosy about the ships that you send in, and then have the ships and the crew available to do what it is that you're wanting to do while you're enjoying these buffs. Okay? Let's come back to the video here.
Node outposts employ the Psionic Assault ability, where on combat start, this outpost targets one of your ships and deals damage to its hull health at the start of each round. Their outpost upgrade buffs are geared towards PvP and station combat, offering boosts to critical damage, apex barrier, ISO defense, ISO damage, and apex shred while reducing enemy critical damage. The Borg solo outpost ability activates Isolytic Burst at the start of combat, boosting outpost isolytic damage. Their outpost upgrades enhance ISO defense, critical hit chance, mitigation, ISO cascade damage, apex barrier, and critical damage. For a full list of systems where outposts are located, head on over to our blog, linked in the description below.
All right, I'm going to pause very quickly to show you guys a couple of screenshots that Jules has already shared with us. All right, here are the node outpost abilities. All right, every single node, as you guys are going to see, every single node has a unique combination of buffs. So the level 53, for example, in node outpost is going to have PvP apex barrier and PvP crit damage plus apex barrier versus retaliation hostiles. The 56 level.
I do want to say that we're saying node not as a mining node. This is one of the factions node, right, DJz? For clarification.
Yeah. There are 3. They said 4, but then they later said that the independent
We
ones
were
was
told
for
about
practice.
that. The independent one is the training one that we're never really going to interact with beyond the beginning. So
Which,
there are,
by the way,
in fact, 3 that are going to give out this currency.
Super teeny tiny thumbs up, a little bit of praise there. We've often asked for test drive mechanics. We actually have one built in. The last time that I remember a very clear test drive system was in territory capture. You guys remember that little area of territory capture over there? So I thought that was kind of cool. Okay, so anywho, what you've got here are the different styles of ability that go with each and every node. Okay, and this
You did it again. Node is one of the 3 factions.
Node is one of the 3 factions. The other 2 factions are Cardassian and Borg. Okay? Cardassian and Borg. So, here you go. These are the node outposts. If you want to grab a screenshot of that, I've got Cardassian outposts coming in. Here are the Cardassian outposts, which, again, focus on utility-style items, such as hull health, cargo, officer stats, mining speed, hazard resistance. Okay. And then, last but not least, you've got the Borg outposts here, which are very, very PvE driven. All right. Very PvE driven in Isolytic Cascade versus hostiles and armadas, crit chance versus hostiles and armadas, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And you can see that there are 9 total variants per, and I'm going to refer to these as factions. All right, in G5, you got 53, 56, 60, then 63, 66, 70, and 73, 76, 80. All right, so 9 levels built into the 3 factions, if you will. Okay.
And they help you in very different ways, dependent upon, it seems to me, DJz, if I were to proffer a guess, what you might be doing or not doing while you are capturing the particular outpost.
At that time, yeah.
Maybe there is a faction like Borg that will give you buffs that you might take advantage of while you are doing other things during the game, hypothetically.
Correct.
Maybe there's another faction where you hit that outpost. Oh, but is this going to help you while you're doing other sleepy time overnight stuff? So there is a lot of strategy involved here in what crews you're bringing, what ships you're bringing, what type of outpost you want to capture based on what you're planning on doing during that capture. It's very exciting.
If you're going to be playing it actively. All right, there is that. If you're going to play it actively, if you're going to play it you know, passively, then maybe just send the best ships and see what's going on. But again, a couple of different ways to play. All right, finishing up the video here.
The Outpost Refinery allows commanders to exchange Outpost currency for valuable reward bundles of resources and Sigma variants, as well as refined mats. Outpost retaliation medals are earned by defending against solo Outpost retaliation attackers and can be exchanged.
Oh, I think we saw a blink. Did we get a blink there? Hold on, I got to go back and check.
As well as refined mats. Outpost retaliation medals are earned by defending against solo Outpost retaliation attackers and can be exchanged in the Outpost Refinery for valuable rewards. These rewards include high-tier progression items such as the new Epic Officer Nog, hijacked refit.
Did he just do that? He did just do that, didn't he? See, the officers were on the banned list for tonight, everybody. The officers were on the banned list.
Oh no, he mentioned the officer.
He did.
He clearly said Nog.
And now that it's in the video, we can completely 100% talk about it, even though I scrubbed it out of my playtest footage.
That is the umbrella rule. If it's in the video, we can talk about it.
Do it. Nog is making it, everybody. There you go.
Oh, Nog.
Now, taking a quick peek at some of the rewards here. All right, I'm going to explain this particular currency as well. You are earning when you are hitting the Outpost. You're earning currency. When you're hitting the retaliation hostiles, you're getting a couple of currencies. All right, some of those currencies are going to be in here. This retaliation and plunder. Okay. Other of those currencies are the research currencies that it's going to take for you to level up these buffs that you get. All right. There's a lot of different ways that you're going to be able to spend this currency. Now, I like that because I got to be honest with you. The buffs thing for me, this is where I feel like this feature can still be salvaged in a manner of player sentiment. I've seen a lot of players, Griffin, saying, well, I don't have the ships to send ships to hold this and then go do other stuff. Well, we don't necessarily have to.
What? No.
Think about this. If I have to send my best ships to hold the Outpost, then what am I supposed to go do armadas with? What am I supposed to go do PvP with? What do I want to go do, you know, mining with, if you do that sort of thing? Okay. Crew could end up being more of an issue than ships, says Strider, perhaps. What I might suggest for some of you who don't care about the buffs is that you play this completely passively, earn the currency, and then just use the currency in the refinery. Which, for the record, is probably how this kitty cat's going to play it. Now, I will see. I am going to see. All right. We're going to take a look at some of the buff levels and things like that to see if they're meaningful. But to me, probably I'm going to be looking at some of these other rewards. Okay. Clark says, I thought you can't use Armada and hostile crews. You can't. But some of those officers you would still use potentially in Armadas. You got to remember, the always-on officers like 5 of 11, like Lorca, like Gigi, like Nero, like Kirk, like Gorkon, those officers are going to work. They still work in hostiles and armadas. So just thinking about that, okay? Gold boss officers, essentially. Hamsam says, I'm assuming arenas will nuke this and pull your ships out. That is my understanding. All right, I do understand. That question was asked, honestly, and to be perfectly honest with you, I did not write that answer in my notes. All right, I know I should have paid attention during that particular Q&A, but
the answer was they're going to get back to us on how that's going to work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the expectation is that it's not going to work. Cruzito says, how about the Veil? Veil unaffected, because you can have ships in the Veil and on your home server at the exact same time. Okay, so that is not going to be affected, but just as far as arenas, because you're being transferred to a totally different thing. Incursions would be the same way. Right? Now, you could use those PvP buffs if you were staying on your server to defend in incursions, but if you transfer to another server, you're going to lose your outpost. Okay? All right, continuing.
Progression items, such as the new Epic Officer Nog, hijacked refits, and galactic acclaim.
Oh, did I hear hijacked refits? Tarpy, wasn't that
You
a thing
did.
that we've been asking about for a little while? Those aren't
Yeah,
they? Aren't
it was
they?
on the screen too.
I missed that. Aren't those like the super powerful refits? Like, aren't those? Yes. Aren't those the good ones?
Yes.
Those are the good ones. Ooh.
Yep. So
hot
I will hold my
doggy.
excitement.
What?
I will hold my excitement until I see how much they are and if there's a building level requirement to get them.
That's fair. That's fair because I don't know.
Because if I need building level 60 to get the G5 epics, or if I need building level 70 for the G6 epics, I am not ever going to get to level 70 in a reasonable amount of time.
Well,
most likely.
Well. Do you remember what they did with that one building that we needed to get to? Was it the Recon Locust building that we needed to get to like 45 pretty daggone quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I have been told
Yes.
that this will be a similar pattern, that they don't want to hold people back from getting at least to the entry level of being able to participate. Okay. So I don't expect it to take forever to get to level 20. However, yes, I do expect it to be slow and that you'd have to pay if you want to take it to level 70 or 80. Okay. So
Right.
just throwing that out there.
I will continue to be, I'm happy they're there, but as a level 71 player who now no longer currently personally has a need for those refits, but you know, other people need them, and
I mean,
I hope that
you're not still using your
they
cruncher?
get them in a reasonable time frame.
You're not still using your cruncher?
I already have it.
Oh.
I already own it.
Okay, well, maybe premium mirror dust is what you're going to go after, you know, potentially.
Right, and there's a lot of other people that need them, and obviously that's not just me, but still is going to be dependent on when you can buy them and how much they are, and if there are cooldowns. Because if there are cooldowns on that,
there will
and you
be.
can't even see the refits until you have the ship, it is still as dead as it was before.
I don't agree with that. Besides, we're going to have the data. We'll know what the data is. But I expect that there I expect that there will be cooldowns and we will have the data. I'm not worried about the data. But what?
So again, my point for these the entire time is if you can't see the skin for that ship until you have the ship and you have days worth of cooldowns on it, that makes the skin useless.
Oh,
because if you can't get the thing for 3 months or 4 months after you build the ship, that skin is
how many
pretty
people
much useless.
Yeah, but how many people have had the ship for a year, missed out on buying it then, and would still pursue this now? Again, I'm one of those. You know what I'm saying? So I am not going to say that skin would be useless simply because of the longevity of the G6 epics. Now, the G6 rares, maybe a little bit of a different perspective. The G5 epics, definitely probably a different perspective. But there are still many players out there who are going to find value in at least the G6 epics. You know,
absolutely.
So yeah. Now, listen, we'll look at the math. I don't expect that somebody should want to spend a bunch of currency on a G5 epic, for example. Okay.
No. Like I just want it to be visible earlier so you can get this when you unlock the ship.
That would be nice.
That's
I have
what
no
will
idea.
Make me happy.
Yeah, I do not know what those look like.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that they were in here. That was something they dropped on me, or if it was there in the playtest, I missed it. That was not in my notes. So that's why I stopped right there. I thought that was kind of interesting. All right, continuing on.
Nog, hijacked refits, and galactic acclaim. Commanders can also obtain specialized building upgrade currencies, along with the exclusive rare title Outpost Adept.
All right, Griffin, this is silly. I'm going to make fun of this a little bit. However, I also made fun of avatars and frames, and people eat those up. Now we will have another cosmetic called titles. These titles are very much like they are in every other game that they do, is where you get to choose, you know, a particular, Lord of Cakes is there, Lord of Cakes, which I will pursue, for sure, 1000%. Squishy title when? Don't know. Magoo, they insist on not putting me in the game. So, yeah, alliances have tags, yeah, but now you get player titles, all right? And that's right, Stryker. Other games have had these for a very, very long time. I used to always make fun of stuff like this, but, you know, avatars and frames have become a big thing, and players love those, so I'm sure titles will be no different. Caledon says custom titles would be awesome. Will never, ever happen. That's why you can't upload your own avatar. Too many control issues there, all right? So, as in people could put, I mean, there's terrible griefing problems, and you can't do that. Victor says, continue making fun of it. It's stupid. I don't think so. People actually chase avatars. Griffin went on a rant the other day over his stinking avatar. Okay?
I deserve that avatar.
See?
And each and every one of you do if you're the first person to unlock the vengeance on your server, and I can prove it in a court of law.
I don't know that you can actually prove that in a court of law, but regardless, okay, there are titles here. I think it's a silly little thing, but I am going to probably enjoy it, and I am sure that a lot of you will as well. It does not have any merit in the game, so if you don't want to spend your currency on it, then don't. Very simple.
Well, define that.
Just
What do you
an
mean
option.
by it doesn't have any merit
Utility.
in the game?
No, utility.
Debbie Downer?
Sorry, let me rephrase.
Just because it's not important to you.
No. Let me rephrase. Utility. It doesn't do anything. There are no buffs. Okay, I'm saying that people may enjoy those, and I probably will as well. To be honest with you, I made fun of avatars in the beginning, and look how big that has become. Okay, I love avatars now. I do. I love frames. I think they're fun. I think they're silly in the ways that we do combinations and things like that. So the titles. When they pitched this idea to me few months ago, several months ago, I said, absolutely. It'll be silly. It'll be fun. Absolutely do it. I don't think you should sell them. They probably will. But we shall see. Okay? And if you want to spend on that, you absolutely can. Just like in most event stores and most faction stores, there are avatars and frames for you to spend currency on. Most of us don't do that. Some of us do. So this will be something that you had the option to do. If you want to spend on it, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But they are available and there for you to do that. Okay? Continuing.
Also
I
obtain
love everything
specialized
about that.
building upgrade currencies, along with the exclusive rare title Outpost Adept. Retaliation plunder is earned by successfully defending against Wave 2 solo Outpost retaliation attackers and can be exchanged for valuable rewards in the Outpost refinery.
All right, let's break down Wave 2. This was kind of interesting to me today, Griffin, because I saw a lot of people very convinced in what the waves were going to look like for these things without knowing anything about them. These waves are much simpler than you guys are all giving this mechanic credit for. The first 42 hostiles, that's wave 1. Simple, period. The first 42 hostiles are wave 1. They are of universal strength. Wave 2 hostiles get harder. And the last 30 are wave 2. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Don't overthink it.
It's not like 10 waves and increasing hostiles, and I need a mouse pad to
spawn
figure out where to
points and all
be.
this stuff.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
One hostile every 5 minutes. The first 42 hostiles are wave 1. The last 30 hostiles are wave 2. All right. That is all there is. All right. Let's come back and check Hammy's blink count.
Galactic Acclaim. Commanders can also obtain specialized building upgrade currencies, along with the exclusive rare title Outpost Adept. Retaliation plunder is earned by successfully defending against Wave 2 solo Outpost retaliation attackers and can be exchanged for valuable rewards in the Outpost refinery.
No blink.
No blink.
These rewards include USS Vengeance blueprints, the new epic officer, the Hierarch.
All right, by the way, the art on this officer card. All right, I know you guys can't see it in podcasts. Let me tell you something. This art might be some of the darkest and most beautiful art that exists in all of our game. I don't know who designed this. I don't know who designed this officer, but this art might be my favorite that has ever existed inside Fleet Command. All right, this art.
It's right up there with that.
Very cool.
The Kira wallpaper we had last year.
Yes, this is great art. Her officer animations, the way she moves in the game. This is and I wish I had known that they were going to release this because I scrubbed it out of my playtest footage. I scrubbed it out of the playtest footage, and I absolutely would have kept it in so you guys could see. This art is so beautiful.
Narrator. The playtest footage came out at 2 p.m. Eastern. DJ started editing his video at 4 p.m. Eastern.
That's not true. Wait, what? You mean the preview video came out at 2, and I started editing my playtest footage this afternoon? That is correct. That is correct.
At 4. After the video.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah, so this is beautiful. Well, yeah, but I didn't watch the video. I always watch the video with you guys for the first time. I probably should have watched it, but I had a busy weekend. All right. Anyway, this is beautiful art. I do think, by the way, good call out, RSDJ said, is that Transigen sticking out of her shoulder? I do believe that it is.
Ooh.
I do believe that it is. And I have been told, I have not gotten to read any of it. I have been told that this might be one of the darkest stories that have ever existed inside Fleet Command. I am very much looking forward to this. If the story is half as good as the art, then I am very, very much looking forward to this arc. Okay, just for the narrative aspect of it, and I don't know how I'm going to earn this officer. What I can tell you is I'm going to earn this officer. This is, by the way, this should be a lesson to Scopely. All right, cool, interesting. I don't even really care what she does, but this is an officer I want just because it's new and different and cool. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, very, very cool art. All right. Very, very
I
cool.
just want to point out that you spent a year making fun of me bitching about the back button, and now you're talking about superfluous things that you like. So get eviscerated.
What? Art? I've always praised good art in this game. Always.
And premium mirror dust,
play.
along with select prime particles and the exclusive epic title Outpost Master. There will also be a new Outpost Battle Pass featuring shards of the new epic officer, the Hierarch. Solo Outpost marks a major evolution in gameplay, blending endurance, resource management, and strategic depth. Through the Outpost Control Center, Refinery, and faction-specific outposts, commanders gain new paths for growth, new officers, and high-value rewards.
Oh, there was a little piece of the art. Did you see that? Did you see that, Griffin? There was an officer animation.
Faction-specific outposts, commanders gain new paths for growth, new officers,
Very Frankenstein.
and high-value rewards. By holding the line against relentless retaliation attacker waves, players will find Solo Outpost to be one of the most dynamic and rewarding challenges yet introduced into Star Trek Fleet Command. Good luck out there, commanders. Hit it.
No! No, Hammy, you gotta stop that! You can't keep doing that, Hammy! The hit it thing! I feel like he's just owning it now, right? You can't hit it. Hold on, I've got to find a meme that I saw earlier today, and it made me cry laughing. Let me see if I can actually find it. Only you can
It's
prevent
canon.
forest fires.
Obviously, Pike is his favorite captain. There's no problem with that.
Only you can prevent forest fires. I want you to buy more packs. I've seen some great memes on this already today. All right. I've seen some fantastic memes. We should do a Hammy meme contest. I feel like that would be a wonderful idea.
I think that might hurt Hammy's feelings, and so we should not do that.
No, I don't think it would hurt Hammy's feelings. He loved the T-shirt we did last month with the hit it. He liked that. Yeah,
Did you show him the matching panties that you made?
No, I didn't. Thank you. Hey, pal, appreciate that. Meme off. All right, there we go. All right, listen, playtest footage now inbound. The timestamp is 1:51 on the podcast, and I know that this has been a lot for us to get through tonight. I am going to now pull up playtest footage, and we're going to kind of breeze through that relatively quickly. And then if there are questions, then we're going to answer some of those for you. And then we'll take a look at the blog post if necessary, okay? By the way, in the entire video, Hammy only blinked 4 times. 4 times.
Wow.
Strider says, so does the Outpost count as a station? No. All right. It is not on a hostile. It is not an armada. It is not a station. It is not a player. It is not an invading entity. It is this whole new thing. All right. It's a whole new thing.
I will tell you, DJz was there for day 2 of the playtest. There was a day 1 of the playtest that DJz was not there for. And talk about rants. We had about a half an hour rant about the simple fact that it is time. After 7 years of this game, and after having 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to now we're on our 7th or our 8th type of target, somebody needs to sit their ass down on a Sunday and just go back through the strings, the text strings, and re-update the officers as to who works against what. It's very simple.
So
there can be a color coordinated pattern that takes programming. Somebody just simply needs to sit there and rewrite what works with what, period.
Yeah. I actually did watch that playtest back on video. I remember hearing that, you guys talking about that, and that was something that can I give you the short answer, Griffin? Scopely doesn't know. Scopely doesn't know. Scopely doesn't know. Scopely doesn't know. Scopely doesn't know.
Well, that's why I put the $2,000 bounty on the employee who will get that done first.
They don't know.
Now that the back button's in the game, I have a new mission in life.
Which is why I say testing is going to be needed here, because I bet we find a pattern. Hostiles and armadas, hostiles or armadas. I bet we find a pattern. I bet some of these officers work. I bet they listen. Scopely says they don't, which invariably means that something will that they didn't expect. Okay, because Scopely doesn't know. Scopely doesn't know.
We have them basically. We have them, Chris. Volunteers to identify them. We basically have them identified already. Jules Verne already knows what works with what, with the exception of this new target, which I'll call them. We'll know that probably within a day or two.
I bet
somebody needs to sit down and.
I bet Kill First already knows. But I would bet you $5 there's an unintended officer out there that Scopely doesn't know about. I'm telling you.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Damn straight. Damn straight. All right, let's continue. We're going to take a look at the playtest footage. Now, there's probably stuff here that I shouldn't show. Hang on. Forgot that first image. Okay.
Oh, God, not again.
All right, so this, again, a little bit raw. Now, for example, right here, perfect example. Right here's the playtest footage where I said, you guys want to keep an idea about where these systems are, because you can see in the playtest footage there was no nebula there. So I'm glad that there was a nebula there. In the video that Hammy put out, there wasn't in playtest. So it was really, really tough for me to find these. Anyway, I took my Crenshaw as a level 71, and I decided to hit conservatively. I believe I went and tried a level 63 Outpost. Now, I did find... Hold on, I'm going to back up here just for a second because there's some interstitial that I want to play for you here. I was assigned the squishy one. Shout out to my playtest brethren. And other players took more advanced targets. I will have you know that they all ended up watching my screen because the more advanced targets kicked their ass. All right? So I do expect that these are going to be similarly styled hostiles to the Veil, in which they are a challenge. Okay? I believe these are going to be a challenge. For example, I told you I played in the 63 Outpost, and I did not survive all 72 hostiles. I think that's something very important to note. I took a tier 10 or 11 Crenshaw at the time and didn't survive wave 2 of the level 63. Okay? So I want to point that out. Now, I did beat my Outpost, but there were other playtesters who couldn't even beat their Outpost. One playtester with all the ships and all the crew and all the officers they had could not defeat a level 70 Outpost. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay? Griffin, which one did you play? You were not at the second one, right? Were you at the... You were not at the second one.
I was at the first watch-along, correct.
Yeah, so the second one. So he didn't get to play. But if I'm not mistaken, nobody in our playtest was able to defeat the level 70 Outpost, and no one even tried the G7s. All right? So I'm just going to throw that out there as you guys are preparing for these. directives will be tight, so I don't want you to have to waste them. I would certainly recommend that we start a little bit more comfortable as you proceed up, because these are tough. Wristbreaker says, yeah, but you're not good at crewing either. Well, that's fine. Okay, go ahead and try it.
Oh, that's not fair.
It's fine.
He's
It's fine.
not
It's
a
fine.
bad
It's fine.
crewer.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead and try the level 70. But when you die and you lose your directives and you didn't earn any currency, don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Now you're being petty.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I would recommend that you start a little lower than what you would ordinarily start, because, again, these hostels are very, very tricky. The Outposts are very, very buffed. Okay? Loston, thank you for dropping 20. Baby, what are you doing? Mwah! We saw some of these. As a matter of fact, the playtest footage, we're going to proceed. The playtest footage is going to show you some of the stuff that I saw while playtesting with some of the buffs and defensive buffs and debuffs that exist on these targets, these non-Armada hostiles. Okay? Let's continue on. I got an interstitial for hailing frequencies. Silly. All right. Now, also on this particular screenshot in the podcast audience, we can see inside this level 63. I did only look at half the system, but it is my estimation that we only have 6, maybe 8 outposts in this whole system. This is also...
Do not besmirch the good goddamn name of hailing frequencies. They're one of the best parts of this game.
Whoa, what are you talking about? I didn't say anything about hailing frequencies. Did I?
You just said, oh, there's an interstitial for hailing frequencies. How ridiculous is that?
I didn't say how ridiculous is that. I said it's not pertinent to the content. All right. From this screenshot, moving on, Griffin, I can only see 6. I can definitely see 6. There could be 8 on the northern hemisphere, possibly. But, oh, Jules is saying 6. All right, 6 nodes in the level 63 system. This is concerning to me. Just throwing that out there. Throwing that out there, Scopes. This is concerning to me, especially given the fact that they could potentially take 6 hours to finish. Woo! All right. Now, there's 6 nodes in this system. There will be 6 nodes in the other 63 system, and then 6 nodes in the other 63 system, meaning out of all the level 63 hostels, targets, we're going to have to go with targets, there are only 18. That's rough. Okay? Continuing. I am looking at the Cardassian ones here. I'm going to show you the buffs very quickly, which, again, we already know from the charts now, so we can kind of skip forward past this part. But taking a look at some of the buffs, I'm going to show you this very quickly. Here are the buffs on the level 63 Cardassian Outpost. We're seeing that it starts with 40,000 Apex Barrier. All right, guys, let's talk. What counters Apex Barrier? Massive damage output, right? Massive damage output. That's the only thing to combat barrier is shred. Now, interesting, Benny Hill says, let's shred. Scribbler says shred. Vul says shred. Danny says shred. Let me ask you, do you have any shred officers that don't specify players or hostels?
Ooh, that means that there won't be any available.
Ooh. Nope. Okay. So shred is not going to be the answer. Yikes. All right. That's right. Not yet, says Clark. Yeah, now you're getting in the spirit. Go ahead and press the button, Griffin. Now you know what's going to happen. What's going to happen this month? You're going to be able to... Yeah. There you go. Okay. That's right. For the low price of $99.99. Okay. So you have to be very, very. Now, Kaviji says the Godsend says hostels. The Godsend is a statistical anomaly. Godsend, but I thought the Godsend was barrier. Does it have some shred on it? If it has a little bit of shred on it, then the Godsend can work. Don't ask why. Just go with it.
According to my calculations, it has increasing Apex shred against hostiles at a 35% max.
Which means that you would be able to get 35% shred using the godsend.
But it says hostiles. I thought you said if it's hostiles, it's not going to work against the new target.
You're right. Doesn't. But the godsend actually works against everything. What?
Don't
Moving
shush
on.
me.
No,
this
moving
is my
on.
whole
No.
entire point.
Moving
Why
on.
can't we just
We're
have the
gonna
things
move
to say
on.
what they're supposed to?
By the way, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Scopely doesn't know. Scopely doesn't know. Scopely doesn't know. So don't tell Scopely. Okay? Air guitar for the finale. All right. The next ability on this bad lad over here.
That was so stupid.
I know it was. Is the Outpost critical hit damage will not fall. In other words, they've got a floor, 150% critical hit damage. That's the floor. Thank you, guys. Who started a hype train? Thank you, Lost In with the 20 gifted. Jules Verne with a 38-month resub. Lord Lightning, thank you for the follow. Wardod, Benny Hills Ghost for the bits. Bubba, thank you for the follow. Tony Pye, thank you for the bits. And there you are. You're in a level 3 hype train already. Woo! Okay, so that's what you've got there. Now, I am being told by one of the lab rats that the damage is versus everything. Shred does actually work as described. Okay.
You know,
So that
this
means-
is what I'm talking about.
Again, Scopely doesn't know. I don't know how many times I can say this to you, Griffin. Do I need to turn you green for you to start listening?
No.
Okay, because you know it's true. They don't know. Ask. Listen. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say this. I bet there are fewer than 5 employees who work for the company today that actually know a mining formula.
What?
I guarantee it. There are fewer than 5 employees who are currently employed by Scopely Gaming Worldwide International Headquarters LLC Incorporated that actually know how mining speed works in this game. Take my bet.
Oh, I know that you're right because all the
Thank
new
you.
features that they put in to improve mining are on the wrong side of the equation, not in our favor.
Yep. Okay? So, just saying. Cottontail says, should we expect non-Armada hostile abilities to count? They say no. Which is
We got
why-
to stop. You know, that's another thing. That's another thing. Say non-Armada hostile one more time. There's 13 targets in this game. They're just a hostile. Okay?
Well,
There's
they
no
are.
such thing as a non-Armada hostile. It's a damn hostile. Okay? It's a hostile. Or it's a gold target. Or it's or this or that. A non-Armada hostile. What does that mean? Nothing.
I'm just saying. Okay? We
Enough
don't know.
is enough, and it's time for a change.
We don't know. All right? Which is why we're going to have to do it ourselves. Because I promise you, if I'm wrong on this, I will award one $100 pack. I promise you that there is an officer that works that they don't expect to work and that we find.
Ooh, that means he already knows. He already knows.
No, I don't. I'm that confident. Kill First could probably already tell us. Kill First could already tell us.
Back.
What?
Week.
Kill First. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay? I promise. Anyway, the
Dragon
Outpost.
Keeper chimes in with, it will be trash. Thank you very much, Dragon Keeper. Keeping it very consistent.
JB says, I bet it's Darwin. Could be. The Outpost has a critical floor of 150%. All right? Meaning that critical chance reduction will also potentially be a key player here. Critical chance reduction. So keep an eye out for that. I'm not going to ask the question because I'm pretty sure there is critical chance reduction research or abilities out there that are non-target specific. So do be aware of that. But critical chance reduction could be a thing. You don't want critical damage reduction per se, because even if you floor it out, they're still doing 150% base damage of the critical. So you're going to want to try to find a way to get their chance down to 0. Okay? So this is a level 63 Outpost. You can see their power is trending roughly 93 billion in power. Do keep in mind that you can take 2 ships initially. You will be able to upgrade that to 3 and eventually 4. Okay? Wow. So it'll act as almost like an Armada style kind of thing. Okay. Armada style and multiple ships attacking one target, but it's not an Armada. Okay. Not an Armada. Here is a Borg outpost. As a matter of fact, you can see on the screen here, we've got 72 hostiles remaining, of which, again, 40 of those, did I say 40? Yeah, 42 are the considered wave 1. The last 30 are considered wave 2. It looks like I went in and took a look at a Borg outpost for you, so we can take a look at the buffs and abilities on this one. This one has, on combat start, it will increase its isolytic damage by 150%. So that screams Joachim. Okay. Who also will work on all targets. Throwing that out there. By the way, the reason that I'm getting all of these abilities to show you is for our audience, who typically tend to be the more efficient style players. We already know that specific buffs are going to be attached to specific factions of these targets. Okay. In other words, utility is Cardassian, PvE is Borg. There's also going to be a form of these outposts that, in my opinion, initially are going to be easier to fight. Why would that be?
Based on their mechanics, based on what their abilities are,
based on what their buffs are, and based on what we have in the game right now. Okay, so the reason that this is important is not necessarily for the buffs. Again, me kind of focusing on the more passive version of this play. I'm going to ride it overnight. I want to be able to survive the outpost as long as possible. I want to earn as much currency as I possibly can so that I can go into the refinery and spend the currency there. All right? There is a counter to isolytic damage. All right? Its second is the same thing. Critical hit damage floor of 150%. Well, that doesn't matter as much if I've got Joachim. And by the way, Paramount and the podcast says it's Joachim. I have to go with that now. Okay.
They don't care what you call them as long as you max them, because you're going to want them maxed by November.
you want this. Okay. Is the currency cross faction? Yes, it is, Lou. All right. So what I earn off Borg and what I earn off Cardassian, I'll be able to spend in the same place. Okay.
And that's great.
That is important. So that one was a Borg. I don't know if I ever found a node one. The reason I didn't look is because it's PvP. Who cares? Here is the Outpost Control Center. We're going to unlock the building. We get the same interstitial that we saw in the beginning of the video here, where you get to see all this stuff with the Outpost. When it's defeated, you earn these currencies, and you get to spend these currencies to earn all these different rewards and so forth, okay, in the refinery. Now, here is an important piece of the video, which I do believe Jules has already made charts on, but I scanned through the whole thing so we can start kind of seeing where some of these buffs come into play, where, for example, you could start doing double pulls in your material generator. All right. So we're going to start scanning through this stuff. The material generator being pretty important. We already know level 40 of the building is where you can start taking a third ship. And why would that be important to be able to take a third ship? Well, I'm going to explain that here in just a moment, because that's the ship that I think I would send with not the best crew if I was going to play actively. And I'm going to explain. Again, balancing act, okay? We can see on this screen at level 10, we already have our warehouse up to 337,000. We know 350 is a double pull. Okay, so let's continue. Watching it scroll. Oops, I must have clicked the button here. Yeah, see, now here in my playtest, I am level 1 of the building. I am only getting a G5 material generator. Okay? So Cruzito says you're hearing something different. Would love to know where you're hearing it, because I didn't hear that. However, and I didn't get to experience that either. All right. What we saw is right here on your screen. At level 1 of the building, which was G5, then I only got G5 materials, which again, it's a level 51 plus building. So getting level 1, I only had the G5 material refinery. I am
almost certain that the answer to your question, Cruzito, is based on the building, not your ops
based on the
level.
building, not the
That's
ops.
what
Now,
I saw when I did.
what we did theorize, and what based on the labels, which are most likely wrong, okay? What we did theorize is that the refinery can improve with your ops level, but the material itself doesn't unlock. As a matter of fact, I know this to be true, and here's how I'm going to tell you. I know this to be true because there was a description somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. There was a description somewhere where it showed that it unlocked the extra material. Here on our screen, again, we can see now we're up to level 26. By the way, we're up to 608,000 material fragments. So now, again, we can do a double pull in the material refinery if we want to. We can see that our fleet size is still only 2. Coming up, the building is ops locked to 51. That's correct, Mormon. Okay? Now, here we go. Level 40. We can see right here that our outpost fleet size increases from 2 to 3. All right, so we know that that we get to take an extra ship, which will give us the extra ability to potentially tackle larger outposts when you get to building level 40, because now you can take a 3rd ship. Okay, you will see that also you've got 1,500% weapons damage boost against outputs or outposts. Those are base figures as far as we're concerned, so not a wild improvement there, but they're going to help a little bit. And we see that our outpost loot is now increased to 136%. This is very, very, very important for the loot that the hostiles are dropping, which in turn gives us what we can spend in the refinery. Okay? We're going to continue on to see. I can see it all the way up to level 60. And note that our fleet size is still 3, all the way to building level 60. However, our material fragment warehouse is now up to holding 2.5 million. Tarpy, great question. The loot you're earning from the outpost hostiles, does it go to inventory or does it go to your cargo hold? It goes straight to inventory. It cannot be ganked. So if you set it out overnight and then it ends and you beat all 72 hostiles, you are not at risk for losing your inventory while you're floating in space. When you kill it, every single hostile goes straight to your inventory in real time. Okay?
Yay.
Which is very, very nice. And there are loot chests as well. So you're getting raw loot that goes straight to your inventory. You're also getting loot chest bonuses, all right, which is nice. Okay? So we're going to continue on with the playtest video. We're, like I said, about 5 minutes in. This whole thing I condensed down to about 20 minutes. But again, it was a very long playtest, so there was stuff that I wanted to share with you. Ignore the floating pips on the screen. That was a bug in development, so nobody needs to worry about that. We also see here there was something. I'm trying to remember where we saw that the refinery changed. Gimmon says, please tell me that you cannot be beamed while in an outpost.
Correct.
That is what we were told. I don't think we tested that, but we were told that you couldn't be interfered with. All right. Now,
that question was asked on the first day. There's no way to be hit after the outpost starts from the outside world. No griefing.
Yes. You can see here, for example, and again, my building is level 1. Level 1. But I am seeing 58 materials in my material generator. Okay. So not earth-shattering, but again, I'm at level 1. So let's take a look. I am going to begin an outpost capture right here. All right. I spend the directives. I'm going to point out that for some weird reason, probably to do with math and daily drips and some odd weird thing, it costs 600 directives to start an outpost. Don't ask me why. I feel like that's weird. Probably just a way to make it so that, we can't start one every single day or something to that effect. Don't know. But 600 directives is what a start costs. All right. We're going to start this thing. And in this first one, I only took 1 ship. All right. You can see here that we've got a 1-minute timer for me to get all my ships inside the circle. And I clipped this video, so it went to inside the 10 seconds. Is this lag or my video? It's probably my video. All right. I'm streaming it. And you also got to remember, I was also on my laptop at work, and I was trying to stream on Zoom and all this stuff, so it wasn't super great. So what ship am I using? I sent my Crenshaw to this thing. It's a 1-minute timer. It does have a 10-second circle. You can see the circle changes. And I did clip the video, so we didn't sit here for a whole minute. So here we go. I'm going to engage the outpost. I have now captured the outpost. My ship is going to orbit the outpost. And if you can see, I'm going to try to show at the very bottom of the screen, you can see that there is a symbol above my Crenshaw in dock number 3. That is the outpost symbol. That means that ship is locked to that outpost. Okay? By clicking on the outpost, I can see when my next hostile is going to spawn, how many I've got left, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Right here, I see that I only have 1 out of 2 ships available. All right. The status of the outpost is captured. I've got 72 hostiles remaining, and it gives me my attack countdown for each of the 72 hostiles. I get my first one within 10 or 15 seconds of starting. Was my ship damaged in the outpost attack? I honestly don't remember, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you that because of my zoom bar. I don't remember taking much damage. I don't think I took very much at all, if any. But I do think that I looked at a battle log here, so hopefully I can show you that here in just a second. So anyway, a hostile flies in. They're trying to retake it. My ship engages, and I destroy the hostile. Okay? For you guys, this will now reset a 5-minute timer for your second hostile to come in. And I can now see that I've got 71 out of 72 hostile ships remaining. These are retaliation targets. Okay? Can you start more than 1 outpost at the same time? The answer is no. Okay? You can only run 1 at a time. Now, if I had had 2 ships in, and by the way, here are my buffs, all right, which we already know what the buffs are that belong to each of these targets thanks to Jules's chart. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. But we do see what some of these buffs are. And as I kill these retaliation hostiles, I'm going to be able to open chests and earn currency. All right. So I fast forwarded. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a text. Okay. So I fast forwarded a couple of hostiles. I got more retaliation hostiles coming in. I'm going to continue to hit these little things. And again, very much like a wave defense kind of style thing. There's my attack. I kill a hostile. I've now killed 4 of these hostiles, and I'm trying to see. I don't remember exactly when. Again, this was a very long playtest footage, but hopefully I can pull up some other stuff to show you here in a second. And again, I apologize for podcast audience. Like I mentioned, this is very, very visual, at least this last part. But I definitely encourage you to go and check that out. Now, if I try to leave the outpost, I get this warning. Once a ship is undocked from the outpost, it will not be able to rejoin. Very important. Okay? Very important. This is a nice confirmation here because even clicking confirm will not take you out of the outpost. I have to actually perform the action of leaving the outpost a second time to make sure that you don't lose your buffs. Okay? Now, right here, perfect screenshot. Hey, Violet, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Here you can see I took the outpost, and I've already killed 4 retaliation hostiles, and as you can see, I have lost very little hull. But, again, this is on a Tier 12 Crenshaw. I thought it was Tier 10 or 11. Tier 12. Okay? You can also see the strength of these level 63 hostiles that are coming in. All right? Or at least their strength and power. All right. But obviously not crazy difficult. Not crazy difficult because I've killed the outpost and 4 hostiles and I've only lost a couple of percent of hull health. All right. Taking a look at the abilities of the retaliation hostile itself. Increasing isolated damage. and critical hit damage. So the same as the Outpost, it would appear. Okay? Or was that the Outpost? Did I look at the wrong battle log? I might have looked at the wrong battle log. Let me try to clip this again and take a quick peek. Nope, that is the hostile. That's the hostile, because you can see I clicked on the hostile to scan it. So here it comes in. Captain Taylor, thank you for your resub. There's the 63 hostile. I click it, scan it. This is the actual hostile, so they inherit the buffs and the boons of their Outpost. Okay? So there we go, and we're going to continue on. Lost In says, if this is an intermittent timed event, oh boy. Yeah, it will be outside of its 2 months. Inside the first 2 months, they're going to always be on, and they are going to give us some extra starts up front. But yeah. Now, you got to think, Lost In, you say 18 is not enough. There's 18 of each level. You're not going to be doing the 63s. You're probably going to be doing the 70s or higher. So there's 18 of each level. All right. And there are 3 levels and 3 factions. So let me think. There's actually going to be 48 total nodes. 48. Which, by the way, you're right. Still not enough. Lost In, they're not going to be 6 hours per. That's only if you can finish them. And up front, nobody's going to be finishing these. Okay? You might be able to finish one like a 66 at 6 hours, but you're not going to finish a level 70 at 6 hours, and most of us won't. Shelby says, I will. Maybe, but 98% of players will not last 6 hours. Okay, Broken Wolf says, you did not just say that the Lost In. No, because I don't think that he will survive 72 hostiles of a level 70. Let me just say, I don't think that he will survive 72 hostiles of the level 70 Outpost. They are very difficult. And obviously there's going to be tools and things that are released over time to make them better, et cetera, et cetera. But no, I think these, Lost In says it's going to take some tinkering. And I'm not saying you never will, obviously. All right. A lot of people will eventually, but not right up front. They're going to be difficult. I mean, look here. Eventually, we'll get to the log here in a second. This was a 63, and I died when Wave 2 started. Now, I'm going to bring a second ship in here, and I'm going to actually exit and end this Outpost in this particular video. And I'm showing some of the, like here, you can see the uncommon components, common components. These are for the buffs that you can do. And again, I feel like the buffs are not going to be a huge thing for me unless they are the retaliation buffs themselves, which I think could have some use. All right. I think that could absolutely. Oh, yeah, I did have Discord muted. Sorry about that, Tarping. So, yeah, you could see some buffs. But here you're also going to see, here are your loot chests. All right. Here's from the Outpost strike itself. All right. That was when you actually took the Outpost. And then we're going to see retaliation chests as well from where we're killing the hostiles. So when I took the Outpost, I earned Outpost command cores. That is a currency that will be used in the refinery. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to collect what I'm earning from the retaliation hostiles as well, which is the Outpost component materials. And those are used for the buffs. Okay? These are used for the buffs during Wave 1. During Wave 2, I'm going to earn other currency to use in the refinery. All right? Now, what I am hoping to show here in just a moment, if I remember the order of my playtest footage, is I'm actually going to cancel this Outpost. I'm going to leave. I'm going to demonstrate ending one, which I do. I've already gotten my confirmation, if you guys recall, and now I've left it. That's it. It's completely over. It is now available to be captured. I have nothing to do with it. Hey, thank you for the resub. All right. So now I'm going to start. And by the way, I even did try to put my ship back in the circle. Didn't matter. Okay. Once it ends, that's it. If you accidentally fat finger your way out of it, you're done. Okay. It's over. Alan, thank you for the 39-month resub. So now I'm going to start another one. Okay, I'm going to start another outpost here, and this time I am going to add a second ship. I do have a 1 minute timer countdown, so any ship that I put in the circle during that 1 minute, when the minute comes up and I attack the outpost, which I just now jumped again in my video, so don't think that the timer's jumped. I have now got 2 ships in the circle, and I'm going to attack this outpost with both ships. So I do have to join just like I normally would. Once I complete this action, I now own this outpost, and now I have 2 ships orbiting the outpost. Okay? And I still have the 72 hostiles that I've got to go with now. Now, the good news is when these hostiles come in and attack, I am now combating them with both ships. It almost makes them both in an Armada style mechanic in which I've got my 2 ships against one of their ships. Okay? Yo, thank you for the gifted sub. Appreciate that. Dropping 5 in the chat. Appreciate it very much. So that's correct, Shelby. Both ships attack one hostile, which, like I say, is going to be important later on, because the Wave 2 hostiles get notably more difficult. Here's a battle log, for example, of both of my ships attacking one hostile ship. Okay? And here's the currency that I won. I won Outpost credits, which I can spend in the refinery. All right? I'm earning retaliation medals and Outpost components. Tarpy, you had asked this question a little bit ago. Does this currency sit in my inventory? It does not. Immediately upon winning this battle, all 3 of those currencies go straight to my inventory. So they can't be stolen, and they go straight into my inventory. Now,
they can't be looted either, can they?
Well, Stradalorian says, do loot crews work? Does 5 of 11 carry a specification? Because I didn't think she did. Now,
no,
the doctor
her
does.
combat doesn't either, but yeah.
Exactly, which is why I said in the beginning, 5 Lorca Con is probably going to be my primary go-to here. Okay? As a matter of fact, I am using 5 Lorca Con in this particular example, so these values may already be buffed. I do not know, because I didn't run one without. Actually, now that I think about it, that would have been a good test. All right, because I did use 5 Lorca Con as my primary crew. So these could be buffed values. We do not know. So make a note. That's what I earned off a level 63 hostile. We'll have to see what you guys earn without. Okay? Without 5 of 11, if you do one that way. All right. So here are the 3 currencies that I'm earning from hitting that retaliation non-hostile hostile. Okay? In the meantime, I've killed another one, and they're going to continue on. I don't remember where I time jumped in this, so again, we're just going to kind of go on. There's a total of 19 minutes worth of video here that I'm going to show you. So we're almost 13 minutes in, so there's not that much left. We got 6 more minutes. Can you control multiple outposts? No. How do ship buffs work? They do. They do work. All right, so you can buff with Cerritos, you can buff with Titan, you can do any of that stuff, Exos, yep, all that stuff works if they are generic and non-hostile specific. Okay,
and would only work for the first 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. So if you're there for 6 hours.
Well, I mean, your ships, I'm pretty sure they can be buffed. You can bring another ship into this system. All right. How would they be affected by arenas, Mord? As of now, if you transfer to an arena server, then they recall your ships and you lose your outpost. Okay? Is it server side? Yeah, there's nothing client side on this. Albadron, thank you for the 5-month resub on Prime. Thank you.
That's our cruise friend, right?
I think so, yeah. So if you leave your instance, you lose the outpost. Do keep in mind that if you go to the Veil, that is not leaving your instance. You're just sending a ship to another instance. So Veil doesn't count, okay? But arenas would, okay? So continuing on with the video here, and I'm going to try to watch. I'll be trying to watch for chat. Shiz does point out and reminds us earlier we saw Outpost loot bonus. That's correct. In the level of the building. And again, mine is only level 1 right now. So as we level that up, we're going to see significant loot bonuses that come from the building. All right. You can also see when my zoom bar goes away, you'll be able to see at the very, very bottom that I do have that Outpost symbol above 2 of my ships, Dry Dock 2 and Dry Dock 3, because I've got both of those ships tied up in the Outpost. Anubis says, did you try going to the Veil? Yes, we did send a ship to the Veil. I didn't put it in the playtest video that I've cleaned for you here, but you did not lose the Outpost when you travel to the Veil. Okay, but that's correct. Incursions will cause it to fail. Arenas will cause it to fail. Okay.
Did you try Kirsheraing in the Veil while you?
No.
Or did someone?
No. Don't think so. But we all know that the Kirshara is broken in the Veil right now anyway. Doing waves? Nope.
Well,
that's still on your own server. So that does not mean that you're leaving your own instance, Domo. So you're still good there. As long as your base doesn't leave, you're fine. Incursions causes your base to leave. Arenas causes your base to leave. Nothing else causes your base to leave. Okay?
And
but
just checking.
What?
This does not count as an Armada start, right?
What are you talking about?
So
just for the
making
Prime?
sure that you
That's correct.
And using your directives, this does not count for an Armada start. So you can go off and start any solos or any other Armadas that you want to do with other ships during this.
That's exactly right.
Okay,
Matter of fact, that's what they're wanting, right? They're wanting you to use the buffs to then do other things. That's why there's an Armada and Hostile buff from the is it the Borg ones? They're wanting you to hold the Outpost and then go play other things. Okay, so like the Borg one, the Borg ones are the ones that have all the Hostile and Armada boons in it. So they would expect you to hold the Borg Outpost and then you go do Armadas. So yeah. Do they count against the Hostile limit? Very good question about that, Cruzito. We were told that they would not because they're not hostiles. But then we were also told that they would have to seek clarification and get back to us. All right? But their original guesstimation, and I do say guess, all right, because no one had a solid answer, was that they would not count. We are going to have to find out. Now, here's the thing. It's probably going to be hard to find out. It's going to be a very, very difficult test because the hostile kill counter is now up to 2,500, and even these are only 72 hostiles. So you're going to have to be it's going to have to be a super scientific test. But it is only 72 hostiles or non-hostile hostiles. Okay? Hypodermic says, how many outposts are there where servers be waiting long for outposts to spawn? There is no spawn. All right? They're always there. However, I do expect them to be very crowded here in month 1. Absolutely. We talked about that. They were concerned about server load and server lag if they tried to do many more. This is what we've got. So if you end up having to wait on one, possible. But there is no respawn time. Just whenever one ends for a player, then you can start the next one. There's no respawn. But they did server load test this thing, and these were the most number of total nodes that they felt comfortable in adding. Otherwise, stability became an issue. Okay?
Is there fog of war on them?
Yes, because I had to disco in to be able to see it.
So, they said that you can't PvP people once they're in the circle. So I imagine you can PvP people until they get to the circle. But it would be fantastic.
Or for the first 50 seconds of their timer, too. Do keep that in mind.
Oh, that sounds horrible, actually. That sounds really freaking annoying because now these people have used their 1 week worth of directives.
We don't know what the drip is going to be here, A. B, same as any other.
Didn't they say you get 100 a day?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't remember them saying that. But either way, it's no different than any other type of valuable armada. There are tools that you can use. You can cloak, you can summon in, et cetera, et cetera.
That sounds terrible. This just sounds like it's getting worse.
How's that any different than any other armada? Are there going to be griefers camping the system at the very beginning, especially if you're in Alliance or? Yeah, probably. So you're going to have to use cloaks. Okay? You'll have to use cloaks. But yeah, I don't remember them saying anything about a drip rate. I honestly don't know what it is. I encourage them to make it relatively frequent. Like I wanted to have at least 1 or 2 starts a week, but I don't know. The fact that it costs 600 directives kind of implies that it probably would potentially be 1 a week, but I would like for it to be a little bit more often than that. On the other hand, it probably can't be a whole lot because then players won't get to do them because other players will be holding them for constant periods of time. So the fact that there's a limited number of them just by de facto means that there will be a limited number of opportunities to play them. All right.
Yeah. So didn't Hammy say that there would be a drip in the gifts?
He did, but I don't think he said how much. Or if he did, we'll go back and check it here in a minute. But that's how they're getting it, is a drip.
So, I mean, he didn't say how many, but it just, yeah, it, a lot of my, I'm trying not to judge ahead of time too much, but a lot of my kind of judge on this feature is going to come with how easily can I find one? And how once this event that is going to stay here for 2 months goes away, how easy will it be for me to continue to feed my refinery? Because if this doesn't continue to show up periodically,
1,000%.
it's going to be really annoying. So it'd be lovely if they did this as a once weekly event, say replacing Apex Thursday.
Well, cadence,
but,
I mean, cadence is something we don't know. For the first 2 months, it's always on. After that, we do not know a cadence. But, consistency will be absolutely key. I can tell you that everyone who play tested this used all of the examples that we know and love. Saris Invasion, War Room. War Room was made fun of quite a lot. So, they're very, very aware. But, I mean, that's totally up to them. We do not know what it's going to be. But it is going to be an event style mechanic. Okay.
Right. So for those of you in the chat who's saying even once a week would be terrible, I totally agree. But if they do it once a week, every week, that would at least be less worse than we're going to offer Saris Invasions twice a month, and then we get it once a quarter.
Well, yeah, but them committing to it every week is also not realistic. They're not.
Oh, yeah. Well, they commit to the Apex event every week.
Well, not for the first 2 years, though. It took them years to add that. All right, so that's not the comparison that I want to make. Anyway, I want to continue on because I'm out of time. We've still got playtest footage. Here is an example of the G5 solo outpost exchange. I think we saw an example of this in Hammy's video where you're guaranteed 6 rolls, 1 from each resource and material, but your rarity will depend on the odds. This was the G5 version. And okay, so look here. I do have access to the G6 solo outpost exchange. There are 2 different things here. So, you know what, Cruzito? You were partly correct, and I was partly correct in the video. The material generator is only going to be based on your level of building. However, what you can spend your currency on from the outpost does appear to be ops level, because here's the G6 one. I wonder if there was a G7. Let me check. But yeah, looky there, G7. Okay, and they're all using the same currency. So this is actually a very good thing. But we're looking at different exchanges here. So the material generator is going to be locked to the level of the building, Cruzito, and then the currency that I'm earning from the outpost itself is going to allow me to choose my grade, G5, G6, or G7, as long as I've got the ops. Because again, I did this whole video on building level 1. Okay, this whole video was done on building level 1, and I do see that there is Sigma. And I will also point out here that it looks like I would get a quantity increase at ops 76. Going back to show G6, here's G6. I am at my maximum payout, so I do want to point out that there are different levels. It looks like 2 per generation. All right. Because here I'm at maxed for G5, so I'm not going to get any more quantity, which means if you're in the first half of G5, you're probably getting fewer than these quantities. But if you take a look at the G6 one, same thing, because I was playing with my account. So I'm at the max level for my G6 payout. Here's your G6 payout. And then when I get to G7, I, again, am playing with a 71 account. So I can see here that it's telling me I can improve my quantities at Ops 76. Lawston said I should have led with these screenshots. Bro, I did it in order of the playtest video. Like, this is all one video that I cut up. All right? So, yes, we'll point out that you do have the option, the chance to earn Rare G7 at Ops 71. That is a good call out, Magoo. All right? Although I'm sure the odds are not necessarily in your favor, but you are guaranteed a steel pull, a trite pull, a dill pull, and an ore pull, a gas pull, and a crystal pull. Your rarities are going to vary. And there is the chance to pull common here. But I am going to point out, those are really good resource numbers. I am very happy with those resource numbers. Am I wrong on that? But those look better than any other resource pull in Sigma variant that I have found anywhere else. I like those resource pulls. The material pulls, little tougher, but the resources actually look really, really stout there. And you're guaranteed one of those pulls. Out of the steel, you got 1 million or 2 million, and you're getting at least 1 million. All right? So I do kind of like that. So, yes, Alejandro, let's recap. The refinery itself is tied to building level for the material generator and ops level for the outpost rewards. Okay? Wilson says the Sigma Trite could be a little higher. I mean, I don't know of any other place I earned 400,000 Sigma Trite in any one refinery. I mean, it could be a little higher, but I like those numbers. All right, I do like those numbers. Now, Violet says 3-day cooldown. Remember, we only saw a 3-day cooldown on the generator. I do not know what the cooldown is on the Outpost refinery credits. I did not pull one of these. All right, so don't know. I can assume that it could be the same, but it could also be 24 hours. I honestly don't know. All right. Mord has sound logic that it seems like it would probably be 72 hours just because the first box was 72 hours, but we do not know. All right. The material generator had a 3-day cooldown. This is Outpost loot. Could be a little different. Okay. Carissa says Hammy pulled it in the video. Was it also 72 hours in the video? If it was, then there's your answer. Okay. Do I still have the G6 exchange at Ops 71? Yes. Yeah, I've got all of them. This was my test account. Here's G5, G6, and G7 that I had the option of any of those, and I was playing with an Ops 71 account. All right? And that's correct. The loot is the same for any pull. Okay? Now, I'm going to look at the rest of this refinery super quick because we're out of time. We got to get ready to go. There is a material converter. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. Not a material converter, a currency converter. Okay? There's a currency converter here. And if I'm not mistaken, we do actually have the opportunity to not only trade down, but I do believe that we are going to have the option to trade up in this example. I could be wrong on that. Oh, she's saying no. No, I think there was. Did we not see one in the playtest video? There was no trade up shown. No trade up, says Jules. Okay, never mind. Ignore what I said. I feel like that was something we discussed, but maybe not. Why would you want to trade down? These outpost components, Mord, are what you are going to use for your buffs. Okay? And I can tell you, you're going to use 10-to-1 common versus uncommon. So there is a scenario, if you are actually going to use the outpost for their research buffs, that you will maybe have a surplus of uncommon and you want to trade down to use some common so you can activate your buffs. Okay? That is certainly something that you may want to look into, possibly, depending on the surplus of currency that you've got. That's right. You're gonna use those for buffs. Okay, here, let's look here. Yeah, these all look like trade downs. Here is an uncommon to a common, a rare to an uncommon, and that's for the components. And then we've got cores over here. I don't even remember what the cores do. There's a lot going on here. All right, and ignore Benjamin Sisko. He doesn't belong here. Neither does Hemmer, Worf, or Lorca. These were no. Ignore the officers here. Look, this was mixed in. These are transport patterns. These are transport patterns. This was a bug in the playtest. Pay it no mind. Okay, Jules says the cores are for the building, and these are for the buffs. The components are for buffs. Cores are for the building. There you go. Good to know. Fat Man says, DJ, so with all these ships being tied up, more dry docks when? I don't think it's necessary. I mean, if I'm going to passively play this overnight, I don't send warships out overnight. I might send my Reliant out, right? Maybe. I usually have a couple of miners out, but I don't usually send warships out. And I don't send 8 miners out. I guess maybe some of you do. I don't. So this will give me an opportunity to use, I usually use 3 docks for mining, and then I can use 3 docks for my warships, and then 1 for my Reliant, and maybe that. Okay. Bugs? Since when? Yeah, there were bugs all over this playtest, which is also part of why I am not grumpy today, because I've had a wonderful weekend and I'm full of joy. Scopely can't ruin me on this, but why I've been very, very cautious, because it just doesn't feel ready to me. All right. This doesn't feel ready. Plus, we haven't even fixed October yet, So anyway. All right. Yeah, here are the command cores. These are dropped from the PvE chests. Hang on, I'm going to read this back. The command cores, the building materials, these are dropped from the PvE chest when defeating an outpost, or purchased from the store, of course. So this is what I'm getting for defeating the outpost. It's going to give me the currency needed to upgrade my control center. Okay? All right, let's see what else we've got here. We've got less than 3 minutes of footage left, so hopefully we're at the very, very end of this thing. And yeah, here you go. This was the outpost components, which we already said was for buffs, and that's what the tooltip says. Used to upgrade buffs on a held solo outpost. You earn them by defeating Wave 1 solo outpost retaliation attackers. All right? And if you remember, Hammy told us what the rewards were for defeating Wave 2. Okay? Yeah, Griffin sent me a text. He had to run. As a matter of fact, I mean, just for funsies, his chair is still there. He's still on, but he had an issue he had to go deal with. So we are finishing out the show. But yeah, he is still streaming technically. Hey, buddy. Oh, not here. Okay. Anywho, so yeah, 1 day a week. Strider says if you put out all 8 miners, then 1 day a week or 2 days a week, whatever time you would run this for 6 hours, you'd only get to put out 4 miners or 5 or whatever. All right. So there you go. Brent says, can you sting or scout with Voyager ships engaged in these? No, they are not clickable. All right. You can't click. You cannot engage with them at all. It actually, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of what happens when another player targets a gold hostile. You know how, like, they're in your system, right? And you can't click them. But then suddenly you can. Or maybe you can, and then suddenly you can't because they're in your system doing accused trial, for example, or a gold mission boss. That's how it felt. I couldn't click them at all. Couldn't even touch them. All right, so that's how it felt. Was like if that person was engaged in a gold boss or something like that. Okay. All right. Now, here we go. I don't know if this is necessarily indicative of, and I don't remember how many I did because this was deep into the playtest. All right. But I did eventually die. I expect that this, and see, this wasn't even, look here. This was not even a wave 2. I thought it was a wave 2. It's not. The strength was the same. So they just kept chipping away at me. And notice I lost my Crencha somewhere along the way. Because if you guys remember, I had 2 ships in this one. I had 2 ships in this one, and they just chipped away at me. And I have no idea how many I actually killed before my Cruncha died, and then eventually my Borg Cube died. And these were still Wave 1 hostiles. The strength is the same. Okay? And no, this crew was absolutely terrible. Don't pay any attention to this crew. I brought the Borg Cube really for testing a placeholder. Yeah, ignore the crewing. All right, this crew, this is like a Scopely crew that they would write a blog about. All right, don't worry about this crew. All right, so I did not formulate this crew. I just brought another ship in to hold the second slot to just see how that was going to work. All right, so yeah, don't. That's funny though. Thanks for calling out my crew. Thank you. But that's probably why I didn't do so well either. Okay, but I did not make it all the way through Wave 1. That's why I died. Bad crewing. Yeah, possibly. On that one, that was my Reliant crew. I just changed ships. That was what I used on the Reliant. So I just swapped it over. And anyway, yeah, just using Benga. It'll be fine. So let me see if there's anything else here. I don't think there's much more for me to share with you. I do believe that what I had done at this point is kind of moot because we already got the sheets from Jules, but I was going through and trying to look at all the different buffs that came, so I'm not entirely sure. Trader says, if this is 1 day a week, what happens at reset if you're doing one of these? In regards to what? I mean, nothing's going to happen. Oh, you mean if the event goes down while you're in one? Well, it probably just ends. I don't know. That's a good question for us to ask, but it's not going to be an issue for 2 months because it will be on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the first 2 months. But interesting question. I would imagine that it's just going to end. All right, is my guess. Okay, but that is a good question. We'll ask about that a little bit later. Will server maintenance affect these? I mean, I would not expect that to be the case, Gobbler, because you do still mine during maintenance, and this is a server-side mechanic. So I would imagine that you would still be able to continue to play during maintenance. Is only a guess. But, I mean, you don't lose game progress during maintenance. So I would imagine that this would be a similar mechanic. Good question, though. Don't know the answer. Darkfire says, looking forward to an officer list of who to use. I know that it's already being thought about. But, again, I don't even think Scopely knows, to be honest with you. So we're gonna check that out. I do know something I'm going to show you here in just a second. Clark says, what about merges? Oh, yeah. Merges would be totally different. If you were on the server being merged into, you're probably fine. If you were on the server that was being migrated into another server, then guarantee. Even miners work that way. Your miners are automatically recalled during a merge. Okay? So Andy says, treat these like gold hostels. I would initially. Yes. I would treat these like gold hostels initially. As a matter of fact, we've already confirmed that 5 Lorca Khan does work. We also confirmed that the original guys, Gorkon, Nero, GG, Kirk, those guys work. Okay? Vemet, don't remember, don't know. But again, if they are generically performing hostile, if they do not specify any target, then in theory they are supposed to work. And that is how we were told they were coded. Is if the officer card is generic and does not specify a target, then they will work. Okay? So the reason I pulled up the research tree here is that there will be a prime. There will be a prime. And this one's multi-tier. 1,500% base weapon damage for all ships against Outpost and their retaliation hostiles. That is a prime for you. The first level of the prime is 1,500%. The next one's 2,500%. Level 3 is 5,000%. I do not know the price tags, but I would imagine they're going to be up there. Is that one of 1,000? Again, I was on a test server, so don't pay it any mind. All right, I was on a test server, and it does show one of these Outpost particles, but that's just because I didn't claim the bundle. Okay? So Mad Hatter says, so pretty much any officer that says opponent or doesn't say anything at all, Mad Hatter. Okay? Cruzito, everything they do is base damage except for hull breach or critical. I mean, literally everything else is, or isolytic, in fairness. But yeah, everything's always base. Okay? So yeah, I just, where I was on the test server, I just had one of these in a bundle, and it was weird. Anyway, don't worry about it, but it's not lat. It is a prime particle, and there is the prime. There is a second prime. This is Prime Solo Outpost Assault. There is another prime coming here that is in not station. I clicked station. That's not right. I cut over to the combat tree again here a second ago. A second. After I blindly... Oh, here it is. Galaxy. Galaxy. Here's another multi-tier prime. Yeah. Increases the amount of common, uncommon, and rare Solo Outpost components your ship receives from the Solo Outpost. All right, that is another multi-tier prime, but it does look like it uses the same currency. There you go. So a 50% boost on level 1. Oh, come on. Tell me I clicked it. I clicked. DJ, click the button. I must have gotten distracted. Squirrel. There was a squirrel. Tarpy asked if all the primes are grindable. Not that I'm aware of. I don't think these particles... Did they show these particles in the tree? In the rewards? There was a prime particle that was offered, but I'm pretty sure it's the Prime Valor. We've already got those, right? We'll have to go back and check the refinery in a minute. Oh,
I just wanted to know if these would be, if we could get one a day or something like that. Because you didn't talk about the other primes, by the way.
What?
You didn't talk about the primes, the parts that were available in the refinery.
Well, no, it was in the video, but I think it was just Prime Valor. I'll have to go back and check here in a second.
And mirror particles, which is one we haven't had outside of event stores yet.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't remember. I guess I did not click on this one like a dummy. And there was, I feel like there was one more. Yeah, here's one more. Prime Solo Retaliation Rewards. Hopefully, maybe eventually I'll click it. Yeah, here we go. I must have definitely seen a squirrel. Here you go. Increases the amount of Outpost medals and plunder that your ship receives from Solo Outpost Retaliation Hostiles. Remember, plunder is the currency you're earning from Wave 2 Retaliation Hostiles. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that right there is where my playtest footage ends. There's only 12 seconds left on the video, so let's see if there's anything else. General Lark says, will the officers for invading entities work? Again, it depends. If it specifies invading entities, we're told no. But, for example, 5 of 11 works on an invading entity. There's a lot of hostiles that work on invading entities that don't work on armadas. But we're told that this is an entirely new hostile type, like invading entities were at the time. So I'm going to bet that invading entities don't work. Again, they were very specific. Officers that state opponent or officers that don't state any target will work. Nothing else will. If it specifies invading entities, players, hostiles, armadas, non-armada hostiles, any of that stuff, it's not going to work. Shoddy says, Nog abilities. I was not prepared to talk about Nog tonight because I did not know that was going to be in Hammy's video. So I am not going to. If they didn't release the abilities, I'm not going to either. It's not in my prepared. It's not in my prepared stuff for tonight. I'm sorry. And to be honest with you, I don't even have those in my notes. That is on a totally different computer. So even if I wanted to tell you, I actually could not. And I apologize for that. I literally don't have those notes out here. So I couldn't tell you. There you go. No, it's Nog, N-O-G, alpaca. It's Nog, the proper spelling. That's correct.
Like eggnog.
Yeah. Hey, Matters, how you doing, buddy? All right, there you go. We are way out of time. This is way later than I wanted to be. Quick question. Quark safe? Pemel, P-E-M-E-L. Go redeem it. You'll get yourself a nice little avatar or a frame or something. Okay? Yes, Gobbler. Nog the Ferengi is going to be here. I'm not playing the Drippy Biddle tonight. Any other questions? It was a frame. There you go. Nog for alternate timeline or non-Starfleet Nog? Well, we saw his picture. I'm pretty sure it was Starfleet Nog, wasn't he? He's DS9 Nog. Yeah. Ensign Nog. Thank you, Vasuba. What does the code mean? It is the Klingon word for hello. All the clues were in Klingon, which, by the way, was subtly brilliant because they were originally looking for a language-based crack the code Tarpy. But then upon thinking about it, like, different languages, right? The game is translated in so many different ways. So like Chinese and Japanese and German and all this stuff, and it wouldn't have worked. So they had to use a universal language in Star Trek, and Klingon was the way to go. So it was universal everywhere. So Klingon was the language they chose, and Pemel is the Klingon word for hello. Can you raid into Studio B? No, not tonight. It's already 10 o'clock, and I'm sleepy. I had a very busy weekend. If you missed the beginning of the show, I'll tell you why. I've had a house full of company all weekend long. So Alpaca says, I didn't see STFC ever explaining the Pemel code. It's not hello. Well, that's what it is. Yeah. It is. I mean, that's what I was told. I didn't look it up in the dictionary. But yeah, I was told that was Klingon for hello or some type of greeting. Have a nice day or something weird like that. There's a greeting. How about those Packers? Thanks. All right. How does that have to do with Quark's Latinum? Well, again, it wasn't originally going to, but they had to find a universal language, so Klingon became it. But yeah, no, Quark was, he had to learn other languages. I thought the narration was fine. He had to learn other languages, and that was a greeting that, you would have used in the Klingon language. All right. So, anywho, it's more of a prompt, someone to start a conversation if they came up to you and don't immediately make known their intentions, says Brent. But that doesn't mean that Klingons are not polite. They just don't waste time. Okay, so there you go. So it was some form of conversation starter. There you go.
Hey, Puddin'.
Hey, Ultra. How are you? Okay. Any other questions?
Are these DS9 officers or are they like DS9 Retribution officers?
Don't know.
Do you know?
And again, I really wasn't supposed to talk about officers tonight. That was something that was in Hammy's video, but I wasn't prepared to talk about it. I don't know. Is there anything in the oops, wrong button. Is there anything in the blog post about the officers? Because again, I was not told that the officers were going to be covered. So that might have been one of those Easter eggs that Beck likes to put in her videos. Because she, even though Hammy did it, she still produces them. So that might have been one of those Easter eggs that she likes to keep in there. But no, we were not authorized to talk about the officers tonight. So
People were asking if they were going to have the efficiencies. So it depends on if they make a new group or not.
I would be willing to bet it's going to be a new group.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because I was like, it's unlikely that we will get very many more new officers that fit into things with pretty good efficiencies.
Yeah. Let me see if we can find this where he talked about Nog.
Outpost
Did he ever
an
show
upgrade
Nog?
pass that pushed commanders to adapt.
Did he ever show Nog? Or was it just...
Did you just say that because Nog was in here? Because he mentioned him in the refinery. So that was an egg
Right
Nog?
here,
such as the new epic officer Nog, hijack
Eggnog?
refits, and Galactica claim.
Easter egg?
Commanders can also obtain specialized building upgrade currencies,
Doesn't
along
look
with
like
the
he's ever
exclusive
shown.
rare title Outpost Adept. Retaliation plunder is earned
No,
by
not
successfully
shown,
defending
but
against
talked
Wave
about.
2 solo.
All right, so yeah, we don't know. And honestly, I don't know, even at this moment. I could go back to my notes because I do have it in that part of my notes. But like I said, they're not even out here, so I can't. Yeah, he was an Easter egg. He was an Easter egg nog. Nice job, Tarpy. Well done. Well played.
Thank you.
Well played.
Thank you.
So, anywho, yeah, I honestly don't know the answer. I would probably leak it if I knew. I actually generally don't know. All right.
Do you know if Connor's video for the promised update before the November arc is going to be out tomorrow?
I don't want to talk about that video.
Okay.
Plain and simple. I had a DJz was not the most pleasant kitty cat ever conversation with Connor last week, and it's because nothing in this game works. So I was not the nicest guy. So honestly, it matters to me very little what's in the video. Let me put it that way. I don't care. If I don't see it, then I don't care what you have to say. And that makes me feel really mean to say that. And I don't mean to sound really mean. I don't mean to sound unprofessional. I don't mean, I like him as a person. We've had good conversations. I've shared this perspective a dozen times, even as recently as a couple of days ago when I had the conversation with Connor. I feel like he's a swell guy, but I don't see any improvement on quality control. I don't see any improvement on engineering. I don't see any improvement on rewarding past progression. I don't see any of the stuff that I was looking forward to from him. So there's a failure to implement there, a failure to launch. And quite honestly, at this point now, I do not. I said then. You know what? Here's probably the nicest thing I can say. I said then that we've heard it all before and that I appreciated the sentiment, but I wanted to see actions, right? You guys remember me saying that. I wanted to see what would happen, that I would give him the benefit of the doubt because I felt like it took guts. I feel like it was the right thing to do. I feel like the communication had the right tone, and I felt like I was willing to give the guy a shot because actions speak louder than words. But we also said, hey, we've heard all this before. So I'm going to give him a chance to prove it. I'm going to give him a chance to let me see. We're going to give him a little bit of time for me to see it. I haven't. If anything, October felt as sloppy as I've probably seen for most of this year. I felt so. To be fair, Tarpy, sorry, wrong button. And this is not actually something that I didn't say to him. I literally said to him during this conversation, he asked me, he said, what do you feel like are things that we should talk about in this next video? I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you talk about in the next video because we haven't seen any action on in the first video. Not only that, but if you were going to, which by the way, I don't think that he will, because when I asked all the exact same questions to Live Ops, I never got any answers whatsoever. Like, no answers. You remember me talking about all the technical bugs from October? And when I asked for specific updates with ETAs and plans of action, I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. No updates, no ETAs, no plans of action, no procedural changes, no improvements, no promises of anything. So, sore subject with me. But to be perfectly honest with you, I don't care what's in the video unless it's actually going to happen, and I've seen no evidence of that. So that's where I'm at. Hi, Zon. Who is this guy, and why am I subbed? I don't even follow. You were probably gifted a sub. Don't complain. You can say thanks, or you don't have to be here. That's fine, too. But we appreciate you stopping by. I'm just a guy who wears bathrobes on stream. Oh, you're going to follow. Well, that's nice. Thanks, man. And Lost In, thank you for your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 biddies. Thank you very much. Zon, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Tarpy, thank you for your 100 kitty bitties. Lost in, dropping another 10 bomb. Good old boy with the 32 months. Sith Lord with the 24 months. And Albadron with the 5 months. Thank you. What's up? Oh.
Lost in once his bonus stream.
Yep, I see it. I didn't know that you did it. Damn it. God bless it. See, I spent one weekend with family and he twists the knife. Twists it. Gets me another bonus stream because I didn't do a bonus stream this weekend. Wardon, thank you for your pity bitty. Appreciate that. It is hot out here now. Turn the heat off. Turn it off. No, that's not right. There we go. Turned off the heat. So, anywho, that's all I got to say about that. Any other questions? Because I'm ready to go. Yes, LASIK, I said pity bitty because he only gives one bitty. One bit. One pity bitty. So. Yeah, I know I'm going to have a bonus month at some point. Yeah, I'll do like I did last time. I'll cap it off eventually when I'm ready to, when it's built up too much, then I'll cap it off. I'll offer different things so that I can pay them off. So, Cruzito said this month was supposed to be focused on 51, so I'm guessing that they only made this content 51 plus. Is this what they are talking about? I don't know. I mean, obviously it is 51 plus. This probably is something that they were referring to in a previous article. But I don't, to me, Cruzito, the content is far less important these days than just making the stinking game work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've never felt this way. This is why I feel a little bit out of my own skin. Because I've never been this guy. I've always been forgiving of tech and bugs. But this past month, I don't know why I'm so mad about it, but I really am. And I think it's just because it was excessive and it was not treated with any seriousness whatsoever. I feel like, and Cruzito says he doesn't like when I use the words feel. So that's why I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. But I feel like, Cruzito, that they didn't treat the technical and engineering failure of October with any degree of seriousness in any way, shape, or form. I feel like, I mean, did any bugs get fixed? Truthfully, did any bugs get fixed this month? Literally any freaking thing at all. No. Nothing. Mining nodes still broken, although I have seen evidence that they're running the script more often. Which is also, may I point out, and Griffin wanted to holler at me, but I knew they weren't running that script every day. I knew they weren't, Tarpy. There were too many broken nodes.
They've been better the last 48 hours.
You're exactly right, because I feel like they've been running the script. There are still broken nodes, okay? There are still broken nodes. So I know that they haven't fixed the problem, but now I know they're running the script because the node that was broken yesterday isn't broken today. Now, Vul, I agree that the script is a workaround. We need an actual fix. I'm totally fine with that. I get that, and I'm good with it, okay? But when they said they were running the script every single day, bull crap, you were running the script every single day. No, you weren't, because the same nodes were broken for days at a time.
Austin,
thank you. What is he doing? Another hype train? Have we been on that long? We've got to go. I got to go to bed. Lostin, yes. Thank you for all your bits. There was another 600 bits. Ultravetica with your 100 bits. You guys want a possum joke?
Hey, here you go. I'm going to give you a who was the new guy? Zon, I'm going to give you a possum joke. You ready? Possum as in a cat's paw, not like the dead animal possum. If a two-legged animal is a biped, oh, this is so dumb. If a two-legged animal is a biped, what is a tiger? What's a tiger? Dumb one. I don't even like this one. This is a bad one.
Triped?
A striped ped. Striped? That's how see, dumb. I don't even like this one.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that is messed up. That's a dumb one. I'm gonna have to give you another one. Okay. Oh, this is better. This is better. I like this one. What do you call a show full of lions? What do you call a show full of lions? The main event.
Wow. That was terrible.
I like that one.
DJ, what is wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with me. Oh, lost in. That's a funny.
Yay, bugs.
What happened to my box? Oh, hang on. I dropped stuff.
He said,
Yeah.
you should stop the pod now.
That's messed up.
What? That was mainly dumb, says Lord of Scary. I thought it was good.
You should stop the pod now.
What? No, I can't. I have to. I mean, I can. I have to. Hang on. I got to end the show. All right. Any other questions? Anything else? You guys are doing the biddy thing again. All right. We gotta end the show. Let me hit the button. All right, guys. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah. God bless it. That was Jesus God. That was
What
nothing.
were we saying earlier about you not being able to find buttons?
I can find the button. There's the button. Will the new officer have synergy with the DS9 crew? Not expected. I don't know for certain, but not
Jeff Game
expected.
sent me a nicely blown up screenshot from the video.
Wait, what? I'm number one. Thank you. I am number one.
You can zoom in on the video, and it has a name for their
What is it?
group.
What is it? Say it.
The Synergy Status Control Group?
Status control.
Or
That makes
Status
sense.
Control Team.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. That new Corsair screen would be handy right now, says Matt. No, I don't have room for it on my desk. I've shown you. I don't have any room. I'm in all the things. I've got no more room. All the buttons and everything. So full. Thank you, Lustin. Appreciate that. Wait, there's a hype train? Wait, there's a hype train? I can't end the show during a hype train. You know what? No, it's fine. Here, I'll end the podcast.
But you can end the pod.
I'll end the podcast. So thank you. I'm going to invite everybody to visit our website, TalkingTrekSTFC.com. Right? Is that our website? It sure is. TalkingTrekSTFC.com, where you can find links to our YouTube channel, our merchandise store. We've got brand new Save a Whale merchandise up there and the whale button merchandise. It's all there. And we've got new Hammy merchandise, which is fun as well. So we've got that. And you can find a link on over to our Patreon, where I also have a DJ channel. Right? And you can listen to music. I didn't DJ last night because I had family over, but I DJ. And by the way, Wood Cannon, by the way, I did 4 shows in October. I don't need your lip, okay? I don't need it. I did 4 Studio Bs in October. So, I mean, I feel like that's one a week, right? Just because I did 2 in one weekend. That doesn't matter. I did 4. That was 4. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 shows. Okay? That averages out to 1 per weekend. So that was fine. Thank you. Appreciate that. And you have an opportunity to join and listen to all the music and listen to all the sets and all that fun stuff. I did, well, I'm not going to talk about that right now. We're going to work on that. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Appreciate you guys. Do something studio audience. Do something studio audience. Wait, what? What? All right. I got to go. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you. My name is UltimatDJz. You've been listening to Talking Trek, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat person, UltimatDJz. For Griffin, Tarpey, Matters, and all the rest of the gang saying meow for now, love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. See ya tomorrow night. Bonus stream time. Bye. Meow.